who attacked first in the Avatar world? Which nation to strike in first?
Well, obviously Willem, the horrible little guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They did that to the Willem the Friend nation. They threw the green goblin bomb.
Are there morally gray villains in modern superhero movies? I'm trying to think of...
They try to make them morally gray, even though they're doing like the most evil shit in the world.
Yeah, literally. When they tried to push the Thanos' morally gray storyline, I'm like, are you motherfucking kidding me?
It's just dumb. He's just an idiot. Yeah.
Well, they keep making these like incredibly sympathetic factions, and then they do something evil for no reason, just to reinforce that.
I remember the last time I made you watch something. I think it was the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
We did that, and then we also did Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's fucking hilarious. It's a comedy.
Peacemaker's fun.
It's a comedy. Falcon Winter Soldier's annoying because it's a terrorist. She was blowing up like hospitals.
Yeah, like literally orphanages and hospitals.
And then in the end, like the senator's like, you caught the terrorist, and Sam Wilson, the Falcon, is like, don't call her a terrorist. Shut up, Sam Wilson. That she's a terrorist.
Yeah, you blow up an orphanage, you're a terrorist.
Isn't Omni-Man like sympathetic? I know he's also horrible, but like
no, there's no morally gray there. The only thing that can be said for him is that he is like the closest to a moral and benevolent creature of his entire species.
Yeah,
and that is
if you've seen the later ones. Yeah, he's.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, later on, like later in the series, like he's regretting it. I didn't stop him from doing it.
We are live, so maybe we should be careful about spoilers. Sorry.
Spoilers.
Hello, hi. Welcome to Wildfolk episode 70 for real this time. We did it. We're actually here now.
69 was just that big, guys.
Yeah, we had 269. When we left off last time, we were on a boat. You guys were approaching the Aladaleer Lighthouse. You had kind of we did like a little mini RPG or RP session to discuss how you guys handled the crew on your way over. There was some conversation with Karaka, a little bit with the captain, a little bit of planning, a little bit of trying. Oh, Magneto. Sorry, I'm reading chat too. Magneto is kind of morally gray.
No, absolutely. He's horrible.
It depends on which iteration, right? There are at least
Magneto was right. Magneto was right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's debatable. It's
He's
up for
almost
debate.
superior for life.
With him.
Almost superior for life.
I believe in Magneto's cause. Don't get me wrong, but they'll put me on a list for that.
Spoilers. The thin analogy of the Magneto story is that they're already putting us on a list.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is. Let me pull up the calendar. Mutiny on the 18th. 2, 3, 4 more days of travel. It's Jib's Day, the day of sailing. How appropriate.
And because Jib is a part of sailing.
Jib is a part of sailing, and it is also
and it's the name of a god.
The name of a god associated with sailing. Set current date. Add new note. Arrive at Aladaleer Lighthouse.
I love setting the current date.
When we're getting close to Aladaleer Lighthouse, now that I've seen the actual name, it's so much easier to say. I thought it used to be like Lavalier.
Yeah.
So now it's Aladaleer.
A lot.
As we're getting close, I'm going through like the storeroom where we're stored our Skilly friend.
Yeah, Foster's still down there, and so are the not the 10. Oh yeah, the 10 prisoners are also down there with Foster.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of going through the cargo to see if there's anything we could use that's useful. I'm like, well, I might as well rob them to make this more.
Give me.
It's going to be more like it's more points on the captain if we actually do something bad in this ship.
Right. Yeah. Give me one perception check to do the searching, and one crafting check to see if any of it can be, like, used. Because most of it is in the form of raw ingredients, is what I'm getting at.
Right. I'd rather present it to, like, Kaz.
Fair. Yeah, you guys can absolutely work together on this. Kaz, by the way, is watching and listening. He's not super here. He's on vacation. But he might hop in and out as we go.
A 20.
You spend some time digging around, opening boxes, seeing what's in there. Even checking to see if, like, oh, there's secret compartments or anything tucked away in hidden places. Do you like force your way into the captain's quarters? Or do you just search the cargo hold?
The cargo, I don't think the captain will have anything in there. Though, if I feel like it would add credence to us, hey, hijacking the ship, yeah, I will force myself into the captain's quarters and mess it around a little.
Wonderful. A lot of what you find is as kind of expected, in the form of dried herb, flowers. Some of them, it's not just like they're taking leaves, pressing them, and shipping them in bulk. Sometimes you find like, oh, this is Sunbird's onion, which means it's wrapped in a special asbestos cloth in a crate that is meant to be like very carefully contained. And thankfully, with your high perception roll, you are able to investigate in a way that does not cause incidents with some of these volatile ingredients. Most of it is not just like, oh, ready to drink, right? It's not like you find a bunch of potions that are ready to go. This is all stuff that would be crafted into it. However, I'll have Kaz roll a crafting check. And I also think, Foster, you have herbalism, right? You have some sort of...
I do. I'm the
Nature,
what's it called? Dedication, herbalist dedication. And then, I'm good at nature.
Wonderful. If you want to give me crafting, I think you can use nature for it.
Let me read how herbalism works. That sounds right.
It sounds right.
But I think it might be specifically just for when I'm making like potions and shit.
Great news. That's exactly what you'd be making with most of this.
You become an expert in nature and can use nature instead of crafting to craft alchemical consumables with the healing trait.
Amazing. Yeah, let me make a nature check.
There it is.
Woo! All right,
Ooh,
wonderful.
Damn.
Yeah, let me take a look.
50 superior potions.
I'm essentially going to get you like a list of options that you can choose from. You guys can role play this out, but essentially, the two of you working together, you find that there is obviously tons of incredibly valuable stuff down here, and it's incredibly valuable stuff that Foster knows that he could craft into useful potions, even with just the day or two that you've had to approach the lighthouse. And I'll get a couple of options for you.
I figured we wanted to get him something to do during the time he's laying there.
Well, you said the prisoners are down here with me?
They are still unconscious. They have the collars around their necks, but
oh, okay.
About 2 days ago, right shortly after the fight, like an hour or two after the fight, the fishing boat pulled up beside you, unloaded all of the prisoners, and headed back to shore because they cannot follow you into open ocean.
Understood. I know the prisoners know that I'm not actually a skeleton, so I was nervous.
While I'm putting this list together, what is everybody else doing as you see the lighthouse approach? Are you guys taking any special precautions, or you're just like coming right up to it?
I should have done this sooner, but I need to talk to Ruko real quick if he's around.
If Ruko around, or he might still be wrapping things up at home.
Okay. Then that's what I'm gonna do, unless I actually. Can I go down and wake up Henry Horgan at some point?
Yes, absolutely. You head down there and take the collar off, and after a couple of minutes, he groggily starts saying, are we there?
Head into the lighthouse. Don't know if you're gonna be cooperative, but what precautions do we need? Is there anything here that'll fuck us up?
You see that he kind of like takes a little time to adjust his eyes to the darkness. He looks around. Are you down here alone? Presumably Foster's somewhere in the background.
Foster's probably here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he takes a moment to think, and you can almost see the gears turning in his head, as if he's like deciding whether he has a shot at being uncooperative here. But eventually, you see a resigned look on his face. There's probably going to be some spirits that approach, and they're going to greet you, and they're looking for a password.
And that password is...
Sorry, let me pull up my notes. I forgot to do that.
Just pulls a notepad out of his pocket while half dead.
The Greater Sun.
Do I believe?
Give me a perception check. You kind of watch his face go through all of the motions. You can see he looks towards a porthole to see if there are other ships nearby, to see if you're really at sea. He looks at you to see if you're armed. He looks around to see if there are other people that he could wake up who could help him. He sees Foster in the background. He hears people nearby. And you can practically see on his face that he rules out the option of trying to do something stupid here, and continues to be cooperative.
Consult our spirit expert about that, but for now, sueños dulces. And I'll just put the collar back on him.
Yeah, you put it back on and just thunk, he drops.
You remember the password, Foster?
I've got some bad news.
You
the Greater Sun, say something.
Gotcha. Okay. The Greater Suns. I don't know. You seem...
Barring a crate open.
seem pretty truthful about it all. Think he realized there was no other options. They ain't move or anything while we was down here, right? Nothing that turned our collars off and woke them up.
Give me an investigation check.
I'm more or less asking Foster if he noticed anything, like if we ever entered like any water.
I mean, only at night when they all got up to walk around.
Oh yeah, yeah. Piss piss somewhere or whatever, or just like.
No, like the spirits were moving them.
Oh.
No, they haven't got up.
Oh, that's a shame. You could have hosted a little play with all of them or something. Fucking like made a makeshift tea party with them.
I want you to answer this honestly. If you came down here and I had vined them all up like marionettes and was making a tea party, am I allowed to go back to camp when this is all done?
Absolutely. Listen, these are irredeemable motherfuckers. You can use their bodies for whatever the hell you want. Unless it's like too perverse.
Well, then I'll keep that in mind next time I need a marionette tea party.
You're the man, Foster. Good work stealing this shit, Ethan. I see I've taught you a lot. And
just, casually waves crowbar while sorting through something.
Heads back upstairs, finger gunning like I've done every time I've come down here, and starting to cry halfway through as if Foster was still dead. But yeah, that's it.
I'll just turn to Ethan. Aren't we in control of the ship at this point? Does he have to keep crying as we walk up the stairs?
Let him.
I'm sorry, I got confused.
It's okay. I think he needs to cry a little sometimes or he'll go actually crazy.
It's good for him. It's good for him.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you take a look through all of the herbs and ingredients that are down here, and you get the feeling that you could make any of these things, or any mix of these things that adds up to about 300 gold.
What does a potion of quickness do? Is that
just a haste spell, essentially.
Oh, it's just a haste spell. That's real good. Damn.
Let me double check. I think it's just like a minute of haste. Yeah, 1 minute of haste.
So pretty useful.
As you guys continue towards the lighthouse, and as you begin to see the tall shape of this great stone structure forcing its way through the fog, surrounded by this halo of light that emits every couple of seconds, you start to hear the splashing and burbling of water churning around you. Almost like you almost feel the ship start to like list and spin in an unnatural way. And some of the crew starts to get up in arms about it. A few of them start frantically chaining things down or tying things off. Not really entirely sure what's going on. What do you guys do?
Set Ruko.
Yeah,
Or something.
we have Ruko like look out for any spirits that come on.
Buddy.
Wonderful. Ruka, give me a perception check.
Sure
also,
would.
you have consult with spirits, right?
I do.
You can do this with advantage.
I want consultations. Hold
There's a
on.
little sign out.
In the real world, my hands are covered in sauce. Help.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, yeah. Give me a second.
Thank you.
Ba, 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 ba.
Like Ruko just like puts down his bowl of ramen and gets everywhere. And like, oh.
Oh, it's because I'm stupid. The reason I can't do the thing I'm trying to do is because I'm stupid.
Oh. Oh no.
It's a real shame. As this, like, very gentle but still noticeable whirlpool starts to spin the ship in an unexpected direction, you look down and you can see that there's bits of, like, flotsam and kelp and seaweed that is starting to gather up around the ship, as it does in a whirlpool. But among all of those piles of detritus, you also see that there are a few bundles of coral. And that's a little unusual. Coral normally doesn't float like this. And as you look down Ruko, you can sense that there is more to this coral than meets the eye. You can see that it is moving and deforming in ways that kind of resemble arms, almost like crab-like shape. And sure enough, you do see that a couple of these rather large creatures start to climb up the side of the ship. Let me pull the light up and grab token.
With menace?
On your check, it doesn't appear to be menace as much as, like, duty. They're moving with a purpose. It's kind of hard to read whether a spirit has menace, but if anyone could do it, it would be Ruka, and I think a 23 is high enough.
I might have heard about something. Guardians around the lighthouse and whatnot.
Yeah. You see a couple of these boys. Essentially these large species, about the size of a very large, like, draft horse, that are composed of twisted vine and but then their heads are these, like, vaguely gazelle-shaped or dragon-shaped mask-like things made of coral. And they walk on several legs of coral like a crab. And two of them kind of clack their way up the sides of the ship, using the vines as ropes to, like, pull themselves up. And then they stop on the forecastle. And they look around as if waiting for somebody to approach them.
That's me. I'm scared.
You step up to them. And one of them, in this burbling and very broken attempt at common, bows his head, raises it back up. He, like, holds his little crab leg in front of himself as he does the bow, and says, "You approach a Lauderdale lighthouse. What guides you?"
Under the sea.
Wait, what is
Under
What
the
is
sea.
what is our stated mission right now? Looking for safe harbor. Goodness. To be guided by the light. I sure feel like I would be more prepared for this. Goodness.
Did we tell Ruko? I told Ruko the password at some point too.
The conversation you had with Foster is like 2 days old
Oh.
now, so you could have told
Yeah.
Ruka. I assume you probably told Ruka.
Yeah, I told Ruko.
Okay, there's a
Everyone
password.
in their group
Yeah.
has the password, just in case.
Yes, please, password.
The greater sun was the password.
The greater sun. I'm so sorry, I got a call right in the middle of that conversation.
You're good, you're
I
good.
mean, I'm finally sitting down. Holy heck.
The spirit looks to you and looks up towards the sky. Very well. You may approach. And with that, both of them turn. You hear the heavy clack, clack, clack of these shells kind of tapping across the deck of the ship. And they each leap offwards, down into the water. The whirlpool stops, and everything goes calm again.
Was it only
What?
Ruko who saw those?
No, everybody saw them. I say spirits. They are essentially elemental. One of the many different things considered a spirit. These were not incorporeal, though. They were visible to everyone.
I'm not crazy. I saw them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Freaky shit, huh? You ain't seen nothing like this on your normal cargo jobs, huh? Just like addressing the crew.
They kind of shrug. A few of them seem like, oh, they've seen monsters. Many of them, for the record, were like ready to go into fight mode. They expected that this would become a combat.
It's all good. They're on our side. I think. Are they on our side, Ruko?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on our side.
When
You know, they're not attacking us.
when you mention that they're on your side, a lot of the crew kind of like gives looks to each other. Like, it becomes quickly apparent, and this is probably something that's familiar to Ruko, but may not be familiar to the rest of you. The idea of spirits being on your side is crazy. That's crazy talk. That's wild. Spirits aren't on our side. Spirits are monsters. Spirits are dangerous. It's the impression that you're getting from the crew.
Boy.
Notice how they didn't attack or combat us. You know, this lighthouse is formerly owned by your by your country too. They had this deal before us.
There's a little bit of murmuring. And one of them, this dwarf, kind of, they keep it in check. They worked hard to control those beasts.
I think you might misunderstand who was doing the controlling.
He kind of goes back to his work, but you can see that he's like muttering under his breath as he starts unhitching rope.
Whoa, I'm fully here. I'm
Welcome
here.
back. Hello.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold
Branch
on.
is just stirring some shit about their ideas of spirits and stuff. If you didn't hear any
Yeah,
of that.
I thought the Alaudalir Lighthouse, just a brief recap on the lore here, is that this place was Spirit Weaver stuff, right? At one point? Or what is it now? What's the status? Who's,
The
you know...
the state now is it is believed to be under Spirit Weaver control, which is true of all 7 of the major lighthouses around the Wildlands. The Spirit Weavers run these lighthouses to essentially tame the wild seas and make them navigable. Without control of the lighthouses, the seas would be untamed and dangerous. There's no way that regular merchant shipping could happen. They were erected during the Age of Kings, and then they were essentially given over to the Spirit Weavers. And all of this is possible because the Spirit Weavers freed a powerful water elemental that had become trapped in Lake Jodalak. So the Spirit Weavers freed this spirit. I think it's Deluniana? I need to double check that name. And then she agreed to help them control the seas around here. And then they erected these lighthouses so that that would be the case. What is not publicly known is that the Spirit Weaver working this lighthouse, the Alaudalir Lighthouse, is suspected to be a mole. She's suspected to be a Cyrillian agent.
Molly, 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 molly.
Fuck, I haven't seen that in like 20 years. But with the waters tame again, the crew continues to head towards the lighthouse, and after about another 10 or 15 minutes, you start to pull up to it. And you get a sense for the scale of this thing as you approach. It quickly becomes clear that this is no ordinary lighthouse. This thing is as wide on the base of it as a warehouse. It towers up into the sky, probably a good 20 or 30 stories. You can see that at the very top of it, rather than a flame or even a magical flame, there's essentially just an orb of glass resting several meters above the top of the building, floating in midair magically, that occasionally pulses this like faint yellowish blue light and spinning in all directions. just barely visible through all of the mist and fog that has built up around this lighthouse. But you do see that there is just a little dock that has been set up coming off of this rocky island that seems to jut up from the middle of the sea like it doesn't belong, as if it just spawned up out of nowhere. And you can see that beside the enormous lighthouse, dwarfed by it in comparison, there's a little shack where you can see signs that somebody probably lives there, although no... actually, yeah, the chimney is smoking as well. Signs that there's probably somebody in that little shack. I'm going to pull you over.
Is it daytime?
It is daytime. It's just very foggy. It's early afternoon, 1 or 2 p.m.
Okay. Looking up at this, the magnitude, the engineering, the magic, the liaison between the spirits, all of this erected during the Age of Kings, and so am I. Okay. I like this.
Excellent.
This is cool.
Do I feel like a weird draw to the lighthouse? Am I being affected in any kind of weird way?
Give me a will save. Or a perception check. Either one is kind of appropriate. You take a moment to kind of attune yourself to see if there's any sort of sensation. And you don't get anything. It feels very normal around this lighthouse for you.
Sweet. Now I just have to not die at sea.
True, that's where the problem starts. Alright, let's see if I did this correctly. That's fine, Let me drop in tokens. Do you guys do anything special before you dock, or you just kind of let the crew dock like normal?
Well, definitely, Branch is definitely saying shit like, and, you know, no taking off without us unless you want to keep your ant problem. And shit like that. And I'll ask Ethan to let Jahari, tell Jahari to come out of the bag if, like, it seems like they're starting to move or anything.
Would you like me to stay with the ship? They don't have any reason to not just leave us. Right?
Is she talking to Ethan or me right now?
Just whoever's around. I assume you guys are all kind of huddled together for this.
Yeah, they don't have any reason to not leave the ship, but they do think there's more of us than just the 5, which is true. And they don't know what we've done to their ship either.
No one there can do anything to you, but the dragon might.
I admit I am kind of worried about him as well.
There is a chance that he'll rally everyone to go where he wants to go. He might free the prisoners.
I mean, the captain still has say over it.
I want to talk to water spirits or something. I think it might be
The
important.
captain would say over it until we started talking too, but it seems like we might want some kind of insurance that the boat's going to be here. Or the ship, I'm sorry, Cass.
One of us can say back, Kaz can. But also, they got a lot of sunbirds onions down there. They got a lot of that stuff down there. They know how volatile their cargo is, and they know that how easy it would be for someone to just light it on fire and have their ship blow up with them as they leave. I don't think some 500-pound idiot is gonna assuage that fear from them.
I think I need to talk to the water spirits or something.
Yeah, if you want to commune with spirits, you can absolutely do that. Let me just check. I think it's a nature check.
You think? I don't know.
Commune with spirits. Consult the spirit.
Consult.
So you have 2 options. I seem to remember when you took this, you took like the ghostly spirits, like the spirits of people.
Well, I don't know. I mean, well, yeah, I suppose. I don't know, whatever the cultism-based or spirit weaver-esque for Blemadil.
Perfect.
Local.
Occultism would essentially get you the spirits of dead, but also like occasionally spirits of fae nearby. To do elementals, it would be nature for sure. But either way, like you can find spirits nearby. They just might not necessarily be like water spirits, so much as like fae or ghosts.
Yeah,
Could
ideas
we
that I just
combine consult the spirits since I
that's what
have it in
yeah.
nature?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
might talk to Foster to give him like, okay, here's your big challenge.
Yeah.
Ruko's
100%.
okay, wait. Just as a premise to this, the ship, we're saying, hey guys, be good and stay. But is there any reason for them to actually stay, or do I need to get a little spirit messenger, with probably the help of Foster, to say, hey, if they try to leave, they are then enemies and hostile. If they stay, they're safe. Don't let them leave. Is that is this I don't know. Is this reasonable?
It sounds reasonable to me. I don't know if you're asking the party or if you're asking me this.
Yeah, I'd also discuss with the party too. It's like,
Legit, yeah. The party definitely is under the impression, like, they need a reason to convince these people to not just bail as soon as you get off the ship.
and a backup plan, dressed in coral and kelp.
I mean, sure, it sounds fine. I thought I had enough sticks up there in the, but honestly, something to actually keep them from leaving is better than something imagined.
Well, otherwise we're here alone in the middle of the ocean. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
Let me get from the two of you as you work together on this. Occultism from Ruko and nature from Foster.
Okie dokie. Ten and 11.
Yeah, the two of you are able to kind of put your heads together and begin to open your senses. Essentially, you both get like a little bit of crossover. Foster, when you do this, you normally just get nearby elementals and leshies and things like that. And you start to see unfamiliar wispy shapes. You see faces that look like people, spirits of the long departed. Many of which are like being pulled along a current to the northeast. There aren't a ton of them, but you do see that there's just a few floating bodies that are making their way across the sea. And likewise, Ruko, in addition to the ghosts that you normally see and a couple of fey little trickster spirits living among the rocks, you start to see elementals. You see water and plant elementals especially. You see that one of the boulders resting on the shore is actually like a little crab thing that has tucked its arms under itself to look like a rock. And its presence just kind of becomes known to you magically. But among all of these spirits that you both see, you see, once again, two large ones made from coral that seem to almost heed your call, like they recognize that you're trying to consult nearby spirits, and so they emerge. And you see these two spirits step their way up from the sea, tapping across the rock until they meet you on the dock.
Whoa.
And once again, the one in front kind of bows, it lowers its head, and it brings its arm in front of itself, and then it raises its head back up. It is good that you've made it safely. How can we be of service?
He glances at Foster, the rest of the party, at Foster, and then he's like,
We need some help, some assurances, I guess, that our ship won't leave while we're in there.
You are concerned that it will drift. Is it not moored?
More of like a mutiny type situation.
We have made allies of those who would betray us if opportunity arised. The balance is perfect now, but it must remain so. They are friends as long as they stay in these waters, and they must remain in these waters. Hopefully non-violently. But a pull of the tide moves ships.
The two of them kind of look at each other, and let me get from each of you a diplomacy check.
Does
Oh, boy.
my... Where is it? Does my undead empathy apply here?
It does not. These are not undead.
Okay. Even though they're spirits, okay, really fucking rude.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, but now we're talking about it again. Diplomacy?
Yep.
I'm bad at this.
Tautology always works.
The two of them look at each other and look back, and they initially say, We are sworn to serve the holder of the scepter, and the scepter does request that we provide reasonable hospitality to visitors. Engaging in combat and threatening those who might turn against you is a bit beyond what we would normally be tasked to do. But if you were to provide some sort of fair exchange, a gift of some sort, or a tribute, it would be within our code to assist.
Well, if I could, I guess, enlighten some of the context here, we have a careful balance that's been struck over weeks. And right now, if it's inconvenient for them, as in their ship is safely held in harbor by the gentle tide, they will see no valuable reason to leave or cause violence. Just kind of a maintaining status.
If all you wish is for us to maintain calm waters around the lighthouse, we can do that. Or rather, the lighthouse itself will do that.
What kind of gift are you looking for?
The two look at each other, and they begin to speak to each other in a burbling language that I don't think anyone understands. I don't know if anybody speaks any of the primordial languages.
Let me check.
I don't think so, but also if at any point I was supposed to be picking languages while leveling up, I have not been, so who knows?
Only if your intelligence went up.
It definitely did.
I'll take a look sometime and see if you got the correct number. It's usually 3 plus 2 more for each point of intelligence. The two burble back and forth to each other a few times. You can almost see the kelp frilling around them as if it was underwater, although it's not. And then eventually they turn back to you and they each start to speak at the same time. And like, oh no, sorry, you go ahead. One of them says, we would accept any of these 3. A shell so rare that it can be found only once in a lifetime. A secret sworn to one you trust. Or 750 gold pieces.
Can I tap Athen on the shoulder and be like, I want to tap Athen on the shoulder and like whisper in his ear. Athen?
Yes.
Do not say this to anyone here, okay?
Okay.
I fucking mean it. I'll throw you into these docks if you utter what I'm about
Don't
to
say
to
what?
anyone else. I'm trying to whisper it, okay?
Okay.
I write poetry in my spare time.
Oh shit.
And can I we'll go over to the spirits now.
Have you an example of this poetry?
Can Athen go to can Athen go over the spirits and fucking whisper to it because they asked a secret, or was it like hold on.
What was the wording of that?
Did he say
What-
poetry
do they
out
want-
loud? The
Do
big
they want
spirit?
someone else to break
Go
their
ahead.
promise?
It matters
or-
not who tells us the secret. One of you must have a secret that was sworn to another and is now divulged to us for all to hear.
my
This
God.
counts.
for all to hear.
For all
Yeah.
to hear, yes, that is the cost.
Branch is gonna fucking walk to the edge of the dock, put his hood up, and sit there and be like, and then like, but before that, just like toss Athen a thing of poetry, which do.
Do the spirits want me to read it out loud? He'll know.
This is a decent start to a secret, yes. Perhaps would you read one of your poems for us?
Fucking,
It may be a short one.
I have to do it.
Someone must do it.
Best you do it.
I sent you the thing, Rick.
Ruko at the back of the classroom, heart symbol in his hands. Ha! Gay?
You sent it too?
It was an actual character thing, yeah. I'm just trying to find the document right
alright,
now.
Whole ass document. What you sent him is actually a big old spiral notebook.
Yeah. I swear to God, Fac, I did do this, right? I literally sent it.
I seem to remember it.
Yeah, I seem to remember it too.
You have a document full of secret poetry?
Branch has a document full of secret poetry, yeah.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Select forward. There you go.
Hell yeah, okay. Do you want to do it or should I? I'm asking Ethan.
I feel like it might be less humiliating if you did it yourself.
Fucking fine, okay.
I'll do it. I can do it.
No. Fine.
It's my first time reading it. I'll butcher it.
Do you know how to read? It's written in plain fucking common.
I know, but I don't
Actually,
have the
it's written in
rhyme
Mango.
pentameter.
Never mind. It's written in Manko, and I think I'm the only one.
Don't
who
speak
speaks
Mango. I'm learning.
that. Fine.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Fine. I guess I'll start.
The spirits, as you step forward with the book in hand, one of them looks up to the sky, and you feel everything grow still and calm. The waves momentarily stop lapping against the rock. Even the birds seem to quiet, as if the whole world is quiet and listening.
Oh my god, you know that feeling when you feel cool thunder? And you're just like,
Is there something I can roll to aid?
I don't know, pitch me, tell me. How would you help him here in this scenario?
I don't know
Gust
shit.
of
I
wind.
drop a beat.
I would love a performance check from you to begin freestyle beatboxing.
Oh, I really want to cast Gust of Wind under him, but I'm diplomatic.
Branch is actively like, this is probably the most flustered. His hood like up, like covering his eyes now, fucking like
You see,
not making eye contact with any of you.
Yeah. Ethan is actively embarrassing himself to just be in the same space as yourself. It's like, hey, if you're gonna embarrass yourself, I'm gonna do it too.
The spirits look back to you as you begin doing this. They seem taken back. They aren't expecting this, but then their attention returns to Bran.
Fine. Alright, it's written between whatever spirits you care. Fine.
Oh, we care immensely, or else this would not be a proper tribute.
Yeah, whatever. I'll start now. A ring from the tree. Ring, 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 ring. From the tree and through the leaves goes the bell tied to the branch. Through the rain or shine and or heat and sleet. Ring, 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 ring. The melody never wavers. The wind never sleeps. The song never stops. Ring, 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 ring. Beautiful and stunning, pristine as the first day. Ring, 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 ring. The bell would always sing, had it not been for the crack in the tree. The branch is tied to, weak and splintering. It won't hold forever, but the bell is just starting to sing. From the ground, neither can sway.
The two look at each other, and then to you, and they both once again bow, this time in unison. We will watch your ship. If they try to do anything funny, one of us will come to get you, and the other one will do our best to stop them.
Good. Thank you. I'm glad that was worth 750 gold. And just fold it and put it in his pocket. There's like a thing of him wanting him to just throw it into the ocean, but yeah.
Puts an arm around Brad's shoulders like, you did it. That was
Don't-
great.
Patronize me.
Oh, I liked it.
I'm sure you
I
did.
didn't know you were a poet.
Fine, yeah. It's just a fucking hobby. You got any
Do you
of those?
do you like how I beatbox without lips?
I'm assuming it's how you do it.
It's a lot of whistling sounds.
Yeah, the same way you talk without lips too, is in you and Foster, right?
And the beat percussion was just the clank of jaws, you know, then it's very there's something to it.
Skeleton
Wait,
beatboxing is
wait, before
different
you
from
leave.
flashback beatboxing.
They stop.
Okay, Ruko was like a kind of just like a like I don't know, he's doing the tail swish thinking wait, but this is not part of the bargain, but do you want can I see if any of these shells were super valuable? Are they cool?
You had a shell on you the entire time.
No, I don't know. Hey, I'm from a place more inland. It's there's you know we have relics of culture that are the settlements on the coast, and so sometimes shells are more
Oh.
valuable back
You
inland.
may
and
observe our
I don't know if
shells,
they're
yes.
actually cool.
That's a snail
Or-
shell.
But we're in the ocean, so I don't think they're very cool. I'm not sure. Me, you want to see some? You want to see some shells?
One of the
That
spirits steps forward and it extends one of its big, like, arms forward and it turns it up to the underside of it. And you can see that each of these, like, legs is not, in fact, made from a single piece of coral, but from many pieces of coral and shell that have all kind of been fused together. And you can see that there's a little glinting, like a golden clamshell or oyster shell on the bottom of the underside of one of his arms. It is this one, I think, is my favorite. I'm told it comes from a snail that grows on volcanic vents, deep, deep beneath the sea in a trench.
Gold.
Pure gold.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
I've had many try to take my arm for it.
Okay. You'll show him his shells, and they might be kind of unique because they're from more further inland, but probably not, you know,
The other one,
in
after
terms of
looking over...
precious value.
Go ahead and, give me a D100 real quick.
Okay. Got a bunch of them, like, weird.
They look over all of your shells, and the other one kind of points to this conical kind of helix. This one actually is fossilized. It's not the original shell of the critter that lived in it, but rock that has seeped into what was once its shell. It's
Oh.
rarer than the rest, although they are all very stunning.
Oh my goodness. That's cool, because when Zep blew up part of this rock... Oh, he got hit in the face with a rock. and
That kills
this
most
was part
people.
of the debris. No, well, I mean, he got glanced by it, you know. He says he got hit directly in the face, but it's not true. Anyway, but this was part of the debris that came up. And it was, yeah, that's actually fossil. It's like it's old?
It's very
Oh.
old, possibly from the age of dragons or older, tens of thousands of years.
Uruko finds the end of a quest line right here, and he'll just give it to him as a gift.
For me. But I've given you nothing in return.
Sure? Worry not.
Level up.
Bird touch, a scent smelled, book read. That's how you level up.
This sounds like a Ruko level up. There was someone who did poetry, found the spirits, and he finally gave away his special
It kind of is,
puzzle.
in the sense that we forgot to level him to 8, so he just leveled to 9. So you know what? You leveled to 9 when you
Wow.
got the shell. But
Shell of power!
the spirit does say, I've given you nothing in return. What would you ask?
Well, for now, I'm satisfied with giving a gift. I've enjoyed speaking with you. But if you wish in the future, I don't know, perhaps I'll be back. And
To
you
a-
can consider then.
To a possible favor owed within the restraints of the pledges I've already pledged to my master. Very well. And you see that he takes the fossil and he kind of pulls it into his forearm and it begins to nestle itself into place and magically fuse. Just a little ways off from that golden one.
Cool. Who is your master, by the way?
You will find the keeper of the scepter within the lighthouse. She is often called Aradia.
His face sours a little. Aradia. Yes. Alright.
They both begin to clack their way back down the rock and into the water. And a few seconds later, you hear them splashing again as these kelp ropes fire up towards the ship and they pull themselves aboard.
bounces back to Foster all giddy. That was so cool. I
was
think you got the
amazing.
connection to them. They're like the elemental kinds. They're all coral.
No, did you see all the spirits floating around though? Those were definitely dead people.
I see them all the time. They freak me out so much. You know when you're about to fall asleep and you feel like you're falling, but no, it's just faces. Oh, it's just so stupid. Anyway, but that was
Imagine
awesome.
how
I think
wild
you really
the
got a connection with
POV.
it.
Imagine how
Right.
wild the POV of the crew is. You call out a bunch of spirits. Branch starts telling the poetry. I start beatboxing, and then you give it a shell. Then they climb onto the ship.
Savages, all of them.
I don't think they. You don't think they heard me or anything, right?
I'm pretty
There's no
sure
way
the
they
coast
did.
the coast is too loud.
Yeah.
It's too windy.
All right.
Normally, yes, but they like
Oh, it's
as,
quiet.
right as soon as the poem is ended, everything starts to pick back up. The wind goes to normal. The waves continue to lap against the
You
rock.
weren't projecting. You weren't projecting. It's fine.
I was. Okay, let's just go. All right.
Projecting the other direction. It's already
Yeah, but you
lying.
could also add some music to it.
No,
Make it more fun.
Yeah, it was
No?
written with the intention of not having music to it.
Why not?
You're ruining the fucking author's vision.
I'm offering improvisation. It's okay.
As you make your way to the top of these old wooden decks that creak beneath your feet, you see that there are two large entrances to the base of this stone lighthouse. Let me grab them because they're weird.
Johari is with us.
I believe she was left on the ship as well to kind of watch over people, but that's up to you. She can come with if you'd like.
Yeah, she could watch, specifically make sure like nothing weird happens. Though I am worried about her, even with the spirits.
Perfect. So as you step up, you see there's a little cobblestone, or not even cobblestone, it would just be a gravel path that leads over to these two doors. The doors are weird. They have like engravings and carvings. They have these like weird glass tubes running down the middle of them. It's very clear that these are like decorative or ornamental or possibly even magical, and you can look in them closer if you'd like. But then beyond that, you see that there is the little shack, just kind of a cozy, mostly stone construction. Little living quarters, probably just like a single bedroom thing for the lighthouse keeper to stay in. You see there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney.
Ruko, this is something you're here for, is it?
A smokehouse?
The Iridia person.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want us to do? Guard the entrances, come in and menace her, what? Do we come at it diplomatically?
Just, I think the less I say, maybe the best. I think just meet her as you would. She's new. You don't know her. I know her from past, and we are on good terms. He says with a weight of not necessarily good terms.
You want us to just like stand outside and wait for you? You can like holler if something bad happens.
Yeah. I guess the question is, what do you want to happen to her? Do you want her cut? Do you want her killed? Do you want nothing changed?
Well, initial prospect is to be incognito. We need to just go in and meet her, as we would. And hopefully everyone's around, so, we stay together.
I'll say that having 4 unfamiliar men and a skeleton show up at your door out of nowhere is a bit disconcerting.
Oh, it's a popular neighborhood. He gestures to the wide open expanse in 360 degrees.
Of literally nothing. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure tourism's
yeah,
booming
well,
this time of year.
Yeah. So we're here for what is your tactic? What do you need to get done right now? Like
We just want an entrance to Chalachi's place, but you know this person.
yeah.
She's apparently the one who can open it up for us. So we'd like her to be cooperative with that, which is why I wouldn't want to like kick her ass or anything.
Yeah, don't come in with intimidation. I don't think it'd be useful. Just I think the good impression of just meeting her for the first time, because you are. We're not lying. I will work. Yeah. I'll work
Surprised.
what I need to work.
you're this forgiving for a potential traitor to your clan? Is it the Spirit Weavers?
No, it's okay. You need to soothe them into a lulling sense of everything's normal until everything comes down upon them with extreme anxiety.
Okay, so you want to make them uncomfortable. Is that the end goal here?
No, that's for later.
Okay, what's the end goal?
He'll like gesture like a huddle. I have plans, guys. I have plans, okay?
Okay, I would like to be in.
Things that she needs, and things that she doesn't know will trigger certain signals to a good friend or brother of mine. I don't know. I have a plan here. It's very subtle, and there is no need for it to be a plan written large above our heads, you know? Just, we're here on your mission. I have my ways of sneaking things in as need be. And, yeah.
All right,
Low
so if we're
key.
here on my
Low
mission,
key.
on our mission, the only thing I plan on asking her is passage to the lighthouse.
Right, makes sense.
You're on your own with the Spirit Weaver stuff, you Virgil.
Alright, so, for DM, I know that Aradia has, she keeps watch over, she monitors a lot of their lighthouse. And
Correct.
she's also, let's see. So I know that she's trying to hide and control access to Luteon.
Right. So
But is that like a known thing? That is a thing? Like,
ostensibly, the reason that the Spirit Weavers put her here, what her supposed job is people will approach the lighthouse. They will make requests of her, like, can you give us passage over the next 2 years along this route on these days and these times? And then she does something within the lighthouse to commune with the spirits, and the spirits go about calming the waters in those areas, whether it is fending off monsters or literally like directing the flow of water. She is a medium to the sea, essentially. And in exchange, those merchants will usually give some sort of a donation or a tithe or a tribute, which is given back to the Spirit Weaver. That is the official story. And there's a Spirit Weaver posted in all 7 of the lighthouses. This is a thing that they all do. You would know that there is one special lighthouse, the one just west of Regal Water, that is a little more important because it's like right between you and Cyrillin. So they also have like a larger guard there to serve as essentially a naval base, a fortress, a lookout. But over here, it's basically just like a glorified harbor master. Like her job is to just make shipping lanes go smoothly. There is, however, this secret conspiracy that's been unveiled where she is sneaking people through without telling anyone. And what she's sneaking through are secret prisoner transport ships going to Luteon to like drop off these people to Luteon who are never seen again. And none of that is in the books, none of that gets reported, none of the money ever finds its way back to the Spirit Weavers. If the conspiracy is true, she's definitely doing that without permission. The bigger conspiracy is that there's evidence that she is leaking Spirit Weaver secrets to Cyrillin. And if that is the case, that is like high. It's not even high treason. She's a spy. She's a mole. She would normally be kidnapped, if not killed. She's probably worth more alive because they can try to get information out of her. But like, you guys kill Cyrillin agents all the time. She's an enemy of the state who's leaking secrets.
right, and Amon, my brother, big rebellion leader. Patriot, I guess. I don't know. He also gave her a bunch of books that were laced with a trap.
Correct.
So that if she leaked, it would be triggered.
Exactly. There is a fake book that presumably, or it appears to have belonged to Asha. And if she, it essentially has something similar to an animus mine in it, where if she sends that information to anyone, it will put an invisible mark on the book that you can reveal with like a little cantrip that you were taught for this specific purpose. It's just like a little one-off spell that you can cast. So essentially, if you find the book and cast this little spell and there's a mark, it means it confirms that she is leaking these secrets.
Okay, it's not automatic. I gotta go check it.
Yeah, you gotta
And then
find
he
the
said
book
to
and check it.
confront her if not.
Do you want us to keep her attention?
If it seems she is unordinarily attached to keep my attention at all times, please save me. It'll give me what I need to have my own time to investigate.
How about you make us a symbol, a signal rather? Would you like to scratch your left ear if you need us to go get you, or make a distraction?
Sure. He scratches his left ear real good so it doesn't itch later.
That'll make it itch more. How about you just take off your glasses or something?
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I'll clean my glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll
there.
clean your glasses. All right. I've never
Unless
seen
I
you
like
clean them.
sneeze or something, or if something really like fucks up my glasses and I have to clean them.
You intentionally take off your glasses. There.
Yeah. Like if I'm talking and it's casual and I just kind of take them off for no good reason. Yeah. That's a good signal.
You want to knock or should I?
I'll do it.
Sure.
Oh, I'm so excited to see her old colleague. You see Ruko kind of getting into character like he was back at the school.
So proud of him.
As you
It's wonderful.
step up to this door, you can see that it's like a thick stone door. No obvious handle on it, although there's obviously like a seam that runs down the middle, like it slides open probably. There is this thick glass tube that runs down the middle of it. And it's got, let me double check.
Do I like pan fluted or something?
It's like a thick glass tube framed in like a steel case, filled with water. And you can see that up at the top, there's like a little hook dangling from a wire. And at the bottom, there's like a little metal fish. And let me get a picture of it.
Really hoping I'm too short for this.
I also think that this party has none of my puzzle people in it. So if you guys feel like it, you can just roll checks to figure this out. Or for hints or anything like that.
Is it the fishing game from Stardew Valley?
I have no idea. I've never played Stardew Valley.
Okay, well, it is.
So who's mashing A and who's keeping it there?
This is a puzzle?
Maybe. You walk up to the door. There's no obvious handle. You knock, and there's heavy, like, wrapping on stone. You can tell this door is thick, and nobody answers.
Can I pull out a lodestone from my esoteric pack and try and get the fish to go onto the hook?
Love that. You pull out a lodestone, and you, like, hold it up to see if the fish reacts to it. And let me double check real quick.
I'm gonna check around back real quick.
Sure. This just seems like a fun game.
As you... I should double check another thing real quick. As you bring the lodestone up to it, it is drawn over to the, like, frame, but it doesn't, the fish doesn't react to it. When you get up close, you can see the fish appears to be made of silver. It's something light and silvery.
Yeah, that's not a, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not a magnetic.
Ferrous.
That's not a ferrous. Yeah, ferrous material.
Branch, give me a perception check as you kind of, like, do a once around that building.
Does my on the case apply here?
What are your two active things?
One is passageway to Lateon, and the other was I forgot. but
Passageway to
I didn't claim
Lateon.
one at the beginning, so we don't get one.
I think, if I remember correctly, it is the Desolate Camp. And that does apply
okay.
here for the passage to Lateon.
Okay.
Is that at a +1 to this?
I think it adds a +2 now with the investigator level up or whatever.
Wonderful.
Good.
On a 21, as you're kind of just doing a once around this, you don't see any signs of a person. The building appears to be empty. You can see into like the main living area. There's a table and a cooking area and a little stove that is burning. You can see that there is like a half-eaten meal, but nobody's sitting at the table eating it. And eventually when you come around to the northwest, you see a window into a bedroom where you see just a very simple bed that is unmade, but nobody is in there either.
How old is the meal?
With a 21, it looks moderately fresh. You can see, in fact, it's like a bowl of soup, and you can see there's a little bit of steam still rising off of it.
We interrupted someone's mealtime.
Have we tried knocking?
Rico did try knocking on the lighthouse door.
This
Okay.
boy's
I'll,
thick.
Just actually, there's another door back there. I was trying to go in, but it's not letting me.
Let me see. Is there any Spirit Weaver insights I can gain on this puzzle? Maybe it's an in joke.
Sure, give me a spirit weird lore.
Okie doke. Three years later. Whoa.
Very nice.
Wonderful. There is a well-known disdain among the Spirit Weavers for the way that the Basali, who made these lighthouses. They were from the Age of Kings. They were very old and silly, and they added a lot of strange protections that probably would have been better off by just stationing a guard at the lighthouse instead. And so it is common knowledge that if you go to a place made by the old Basali, to look for like signs and clues that have been hidden by other Spirit Weavers who didn't want to deal with this garbage. And sure enough, you see that there's like a little mark that at first looks like an innocuous chip in the stone, but was, to your eyes, a deliberate pointer to a secret message. And as you stoop down to the underside of this tube, you can see that there is writing in Old Basali, which I don't think anyone here speaks Old Basali, but you can see writing. But besides that writing, which I don't think you can read, there's also a little etching of a pair of lungs.
So I gotta blow this tube.
I might be misunderstanding here. So these two like fish things, there's one on each door, or there are two
Correct.
on each door?
The
Okay.
two doors are similar, but they are a little different. The one on the left also has that thick glass tube. But the metal that it's made of seems to be darker. It's a slightly different material. And the water only fills like the bottom couple of inches of that one. Up at the top, you can see that there's a fish hanging from a wire instead of a hook.
Is there like a mouthpiece or something?
You look it over and you don't see like a mouthpiece or anything.
Yeah. If I knock on the shack door, do I get a response?
You knock on the shack door, wait a few seconds, a little longer, no response.
I'm coming in, and if you didn't lock this door, it's your fault, but I mean, you know hostility.
Yeah, you clack the door open and it swings open. It appears to have been unlocked. Inside, you find just a little quiet domicile. Again, it's pretty much what I've described. It looks like they were in the middle of eating and then kind of quickly abandoned it. Stove is still burning. Soup is still steaming on the table.
Can I roll another investigator perception check?
Absolutely.
Anything out of the ordinary?
For sure.
Okay.
+2 for a 14. There's not a lot that is immediately suspicious, except that inside of the stove, you can see that there is paper burning.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Can I grab that shit as fast as possible?
Yeah, you run over and you grab that paper and you immediately start to like pull it out of there. You just reach into the flames for it.
Yeah, why not? He's got the burning room on a thing that's literally attached to his hand.
Tell you,
Also, I have a fake hand.
a fake hand would have made of wood. Give
Yeah.
me a reflex save.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a check if it was D&D, but we just use saves for everything here.
yeah.
You take a negligible, like, 1 point of fire damage as you kind of get in there and scoop everything out. The papers are largely burnt. There's very little that is surviving, but you do see that there's a little corner of a couple pages that has survived. And then also, let me double check real quick. At the very, like, bottom of the stack, beneath all the burnt papers, there's one piece of paper that seems fine, totally unharmed. It's different from the others. It's vellum instead of paper, which means it's made from, like, leather or animal skin that has been pressed. And it's covered in, like, a fine white powder. There's nothing written on that one. It's just a totally blank piece of paper that seems unharmed.
Do I know any magical paper traps?
Give me Arcana, or also you could just give me like a society, or even a thievery check. Any of those would be good.
Thievery, yeah.
On a 27, absolutely. You immediately begin to suspect that there's like something going on here, some sort of code or secret or whatever. And it's now that you start looking around and you spot that there's a little bottle up amongst all the spices that matches what you're looking for. It's a thing you know about and you know to look for it. There's a little vial that has a simple black label, and that black label has just like 2 white little etchings on it, one of fire and one of water. And you know that there is a specific type of ink that I wrote down somewhere, but the basic premise is that you put it under fire to make the ink go invisible, and then you run it under water to make the ink show up again.
Gotcha. All right.
Do these like fish puzzle, are they bolted in place? Do they twist at all? Are they...
You finagle them around a little bit. Give me a perception check. They don't seem to move. They don't seem to like rotate or anything like that. But after Ruko calls out that there's like a secret inscription on the bottom of his, you look under the bottom of yours and you see that there is also an inscription under yours. It's in a language that I don't think you understand. But you do see that there is an etching, a little icon that is etched next to it as well, of a fish under a squiggly line.
Yeah.
Color is impossible to see. Let me see.
So do you have to like suck the water out of yours and put it into this one?
I hope not.
Do you speak that language?
Fish? No.
The etching underneath?
Neither do I speak etching.
I think you said it was old Basal or
Basali.
something?
If you speak
Basali.
regular Basali, it would be enough to get it. I don't know if anybody here speaks Basali. It's a very weird language to pick.
I do not.
I speak Basali.
What? Jesus Christ, why do you speak Basali?
I don't know, man.
Then yeah.
Wait. Yeah, Basali.
Honestly, check mine because I might.
Yeah, it's
let me check
for
Kaz, too.
historical readings and whatnot.
I have a bunch of languages and I can't remember all of them.
Amazing. Let me check Kaz too then.
Cyril, Dendric, Ixalakal, Sweetings, Zilvin, and Ziki.
Also, hello.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Kaz does not speak Basali. Ruko does speak Basali. Then yeah, Ruko. Under yours, the one on the right, it reads, breathant for minutes 3.
Don't breathe for 3 minutes.
It's the aquatic Beowulf of Basali.
Yeah, what does it say?
The one on the left, if you go over there, reads, raise you water, dunk you the fish.
Okay, I think maybe it wants us to hold our breath for 3 minutes. Who can do that without dying?
Done.
I
Find
Whoa.
the 2 of them, guys.
The fuck
can. So, Ethan, you hold your breath and I'll water my plants and we'll be good.
Yeah, we should.
Hey.
Oh, can you water this too? And I'll hand you the blank piece of paper.
Oh yeah, of course.
This is the
Thanks, man.
equivalent of breathing not.
You know, I can't
breathing.
count the number of times I've been asked to water a blank piece of paper, but
If you like keep an eye on it, something amazing will happen. Maybe don't like water it to the point of damaging it, but yeah.
it's paper.
It's like special paper. This thing was on fire.
Oh, okay. I'll try my best to water it the right amount then.
Yeah.
Is paper special because it's flammable?
It's paper special because people who want to communicate secretly can use it to tell each other things. It's just some fucking like thief shit that I know about from working as a Justicar. You know, invisible ink and all that.
Clever.
Um.
I breathed.
Also, Feck.
Real quick, Ruko, what were you saying?
I was just baffled looking at your name is still Narafi on stream. Okay. Athen. Like how do you
Sorry,
speak when you're
stream.
not breathing? Holding breath and vigorously looking at fish. I guess.
All right. Ethan and Ruko both stand in front of this thing. You both hold your breaths.
Yeah.
Ethan, when you begin to hold your breath, you don't breathe to begin with, so you kind of go through the motions pretending to hold your breath, and it doesn't seem to react right away. Baruko, when you stand in front of this thing and begin to hold your breath, you watch as the little silver fish down at the bottom begins to inflate, and you see little spines come out from all around it. It reveals itself to be a pufferfish that fills up as you hold your breath, and it begins to slowly float upwards. Slowly starts floating up towards the top.
Watching, sweating. No.
Let me get a fortitude save from you, Ruko.
God damn it. Use or I die. Fortitude save.
Oh no!
This is hilarious.
He got too excited when it started floating up.
Yeah. It starts to float up, and you realize, oh, this thing's
it's going
magical.
up.
It's reacting, and you just like it immediately boom, deflates, drops to the bottom. There's a little tink on the glass as the silverfish hits the bottom.
Right. Oh, hold breath. Okay. Let me.
Ruko, first off, you give off
Yeah.
the energy of someone who gets picked last at basketball. So I don't.
Oh,
really
why
trust
would
your
you
lung
pick me
capacity.
first? Are you stupid?
Why would I pick you at all? And second, I can hold my
Exactly.
breath for 30 minutes without any problem. I'll fucking do it.
Dude.
30 minutes? Oh, or the
It's a
Wizard Folk has that. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Branch steps up to this thing. No check required. Just like you see, he goes like almost
You go,
supernaturally
Stroke
still.
Goat.
Still is like impatiently just waiting. He's definitely doing the fucking like foot jitter thing. Is like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, it is boring. You literally just sit here for 3 minutes as this fish slowly climbs up the tube. It gets bigger and bigger. The spines become more and more pronounced until eventually it bumps into the hook at the top, and you hear a deep, heavy stone from the door.
I'll open it before taking a breath.
You push, and it still does not budge.
He'll
The
just
other
cross his arms upset, and he can't speak because he's afraid it'll fucking reset the timer. But yeah,
Hold that thought, and he's gonna check on the fish. How are you guys doing with that other one?
Well, I'm not. Let me see what happens. Can I? Is there like a fresh water source around here somewhere?
There's a well, I think.
Freshwater source? Yeah, there's a well.
Yeah,
Okay.
over there.
Can I just fill up I'll pull a watering can out of my bag of holding, and then I'll walk up to this door and I just start watering my plants?
Okay. You begin to water your plants kind of standing in front of the door. And the door doesn't seem to react to it.
Well, in a shocking turn of events, that didn't work.
Okay, so I guess, Ruko, you have to drink water. Drink 3 gallons of water. Go on,
Really?
Ruko.
Or do you
I
think
don't
you just
know.
have to literally... I'll just raise the watering can up. Do you literally just have to raise your water?
Maybe lift the water up.
You raise the watering can up to see if the tube responds in any way, and it doesn't seem to respond.
Okay.
Branch
do
is just gesturing Ruko or Cass to go over there and drink the water to see if that is the thing.
Okay.
You go over there, you just drink some of the water out of his bucket.
Let me in, I'm thirsty.
Yeah. If he's thirsty, give it to him.
This tastes like shit.
It's water.
It's water!
This is feckless water that isn't Diet Coke.
Yeah.
You drink the water, and the tube doesn't seem to react. But Kaz, when
Okay.
you go over there, let me get a crafting check from you. Are you actually in the game, or do you need me to roll for it?
I'm just on my phone right now. I can't really
Got it.
open like Roll20 on anything else. I mean, I could like use Drake's laptop if you need me to roll stuff, but otherwise you can just do it on your own. Sorry.
Totally fine.
Oh.
Sorry.
12.
Damn
You,
it, Kaz!
you can tell that the metal around this frame is different from the other one, and that maybe that's important, but the type of metal that this is kind of escaping you.
Ooh, it tastes like lead.
You roll a natural 2 for 12.
Can I roll a esoteric metallurgy lore?
Absolutely. This summer
Is it
8?
magnetic?
Great question. You pull out a lodestone and test. It is magnetic. It seems to be ferromagnetic. Yeah.
Oh.
It's iron.
Ethan, I gotta tell you, on a DC 12, you would know what iron is. You would recognize iron and steel. Ethan, 27, you recognize this almost immediately. And this is appropriate that you would get this. It kind of looks like Damascus steel. It's steel-like but darker and has this kind of marbled pattern to it. But you recognize that this is Gisette, which is a metal that famously conducts magic. You can cast spells through it. It's like a wire for magic. In other words, if you were to touch this and cast a spell, or like cast a spell through it, it doesn't obstruct line of sight. You can cast magic through this metal.
Oh, I figure you have to create water in the thing itself using it. Gisette conducts magic.
While Branch is still holding his breath, can I take first off, I want to take the paper that Foster watered. And can I also take the slightly burned papers, if they're like charred, and do the thing where you scribble another piece of paper over it to try and like see if the indents are still there?
Yeah, do a rubbing.
Yeah, do a rubbing.
Absolutely. First, I should mention, the burnt pieces of paper, there's like a tiny corner that did not get burnt in time. And in that corner, you can see written in Cyrillil, which everybody here speaks, correct, it is similar to, and then it gets cut off. But go ahead and give me a perception check to try to like do a rubbing and get more than that.
Can I roll you on Edge's sight lore?
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like something they do.
Yeah, I could see it. Sure, yeah, let's see it.
All right. How much is the bonus for lore?
So if it is a knowledge check specifically, it's +5. This is not really a knowledge check, but I'll let you use that lore if it's better than your like perception.
Oh, it's not better than my perception.
Fair.
Okay, then I'll just do perception. Can I hero point that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Hey,
Hey.
nice. You're not able to get like the whole page, but you're able to get a significant chunk of additional rank. And let me go grab that. Meanwhile, Foster did water the other paper, right?
Yes, I watered all the paper he gave me.
Perfect.
Does anyone have a spell that makes water?
I have a scroll of sea surge. That's it.
That's the
Which
one
might
that
be
came-
overkill.
Yeah, it's a bit overkill, but I think it might work.
Branches, you begin to do these rubbings. A lot of this is just pure carbon, and as soon as, like, even on a nat 20, it being as delicate as you can, a lot of it is just burnt beyond repair, and flakes if you try to press too hard. All the same, you are able to get a lot of the stuff around the edges where this is not quite burnt, and that extends the amount of writing you get to... Correct. It is similar to a Fey bargain. Somnum grew into, and then it cuts off. Meanwhile, when Foster pours water over the powdered paper, it begins to reveal a coded message.
Oh, this really is special paper.
Branch will just like glance down at it, then glance and Foster and go like, and like, as if asking him this like a language I don't understand or something.
I recognize Fabic. A lot of those in the pamphlets you gave me while I was on the boat.
Yeah, and he's just nodding at you.
I'm assuming this is not a language I speak.
No, it seems to be. In fact, Branch rolled a natural 20 on this. Branch, this is a cipher of some sort. It's obviously coded. It probably needs each letter to be like mapped to a different letter. On your natural 22, Branch, You immediately clock the fact that the number of letters in the text you revealed on the other piece of paper matches the first part of this message.
Oh. Gotcha. Well, while everyone else is figuring out that, Branch is gonna start deciphering.
Excellent. I don't know if you feel like sitting here and doing an actual substitution cipher for the next 15 minutes.
Oh,
I do not.
Understood.
Start
This.
looking for
I
devils.
just
The devils are almost certainly elves.
True.
I had a linguistic brain blast. Decipher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely welcome to the wonderful world of etymology. It's my favorite thing when you have that moment where you understand the construction of a word.
This is the most obvious one, though.
No, there are so many more that are even more obvious that I didn't realize until like late into my like journey of understanding words. There are so many words we use that we pronounce differently than the roots they're constructed from, but then when you break it down, it's like, oh, it just means like absolve. That's what it means. Like that's all it means.
Language is stupid, actually.
Language is great. It's great because it is stupid. That's exactly why I love etymology. Is because humans use the simplest and stupidest words to describe things every time. We call things exactly what they are. Anyway, Branch, 15 minutes later, gets done painstakingly poring over the substitution cipher and reveals this message. Correct. It's similar to a Fey bargain. Somnum grew into his power by consuming many Fey spirits. As a result, his magic now functions similarly to theirs, including a certain rigidity when it comes to pacts and promises. Not all spirits work like this, of course, but some do. The spirits I work with at the lighthouse are similar. They are unquestioningly bound to serve the wielder of a specific artifact, because of an old oath made by their master. If Somnum breaks a pact sealed in a ritual, his power will shatter. Yes, he will become easier to tame, and importantly tame is capitalized there. But the maddening, again, capitalized, will likely end. I don't know if he is of any use to you without his power, so you may need to do this the hard way. I can get more totems for you. You should also be able to use the power of the totems you've already filled to make future tamings easier. Demonic energy is naturally drawn to other demonic energy. Even once he's tamed, don't force him to madden anyone protected by his pact, or you lose him for good. No Zorakai, no Foxglove Keepers, no Spirit Weavers by blood or custom except those who control natural magic. I was recently given full access to many of Asha's notes. They're giving up on her, it seems. Disseminating her knowledge. The maddening is working. I'm still sorting through everything, but it seems they don't know about Manethrin or Famador. They're suspicious about the Moonstone, but they're running out of sane diviners. Speaking of which, I heard some Moonstone went missing. It's probably... and then it cuts off.
Can I have this note? I need this.
Yeah, it is in this little chest over here. You should be able to drag.
Bless.
The only scroll I have that makes water's hydraulic push, I don't know if this will work. It might destroy the fish.
Worth a shot.
It makes water. It's also one of my 2 I make it a day. Oh yeah, Foster had 7 days to ask for a level 1 and level 2 scrolls for primal spells that I could have given Idwald.
Oh my god, I'll see you guys at the end of the session.
Yeah, he'll bring the note and test out breathing a little bit to see if the fucking door goes back to 0.
When you stop breathing, or when you resume
When I
breathing.
start breathing again.
Yeah, as soon as you take a breath, that fish deflates, falls to the bottom.
God damn it. Okay, fine.
God damn it, Branch!
Fucking, I can do that easily. Whatever. You figure the other door out, or should I just disseminate the shit to you right now? Huh? This might be relevant to you, Ruko.
Probably give it to Ruko while we're figuring this door out.
Fine, here. I ain't know shit about Somnum or anything like that, and I don't know
Shit about
about your.
Olm?
Your last name's here, and the city I live in is here too.
What?
Here. Something about fucking taming demonic energy. You know the totems that Tex has? They seem to be talking about that shit.
Oh, Ruko's serious. Wait. I need to read through the letter.
What the hell is a pact?
Okie dokie. There's a flicker of murder in his eyes. It's okay. Well, seems our suspicions were correct.
What?
Like the mole.
Yeah, what are they doing in Famador?
What did I say, Faminor? Aha. Or Faminor. Personally, I don't remember things about Faminor. I don't know if Ruko does.
Alright, that's fine.
Faminor
Then.
in particular.
Mind if I keep this on me?
Well.
Listen, you're gonna be able to decipher this shit better than I, but some of the shit seems relevant to me, it seems.
Sure, but it's talking about my mother
Where?
and my entire family.
Yeah, but where? What about your mother?
It's not describing it, it just hints her name and then says, like it's something they've been discussing previously. Which is,
Who's... Is Medathrin your mom's name?
yeah.
Oh. Alright. Well, so where is she?
Dead. I think. Maybe.
Branch, his face gets a little dour as he like comes to. He was like genuinely gonna ask about that, but like comes to realization and is like, "Wow, sorry for your loss." Then, yeah, I don't know what this is. Maybe Tex might know a little bit more, but I ain't really privy to sharing a lot of information with him. Fuck it. They seem to not want people to make pacts with them, if that's something that means anything to you. I don't know what a pact is, but if they don't like it, then why not keep doing it?
When spirits make pacts, it's more binding, it's important. Magically.
Like what they did, like what we did with the fucking guys down there?
Yeah, on a light scale. Yeah, that was a nice pack in a trade for shells and secrets. I like those guys. But this one, no, this is the old ones, particularly binding, made in a time of strife or where things needed to be extra secure. They're binding packs, constricting in some courts. Yeah, so to transgress them is not good. Oh, jeez. He keeps rereading over this letter, like reading sections of it, like he's just eyes fully on this thing, like what the hell?
Yeah, fucking reading comprehension, like whatever. So do they fucking act the same way we do? Are spirits fucking the same as us?
Ruko seems inclined to say yes immediately, and he's like, yeah, but, yes, but
they got laws they can't break. They fucking bargain for shit. they're just us, but with a fucking hint of ethereality to them that makes them seem like a bit more that like gives people this like they're just people, aren't they? They're just fucking guys.
Yes, he says. He's like,
Yeah, bingo.
part of him feels like oversimplifying, but it is effective and exactly what needs to get the point made is the correct one. They're
So then
different,
there's
but
nothing
different.
but different.
Different, but different. But no, wait, I mean the same.
They're
the
different
same,
because
but
they're made of
different.
fucking seashells and water sometimes, and sometimes
It doesn't
rock,
matter
right?
what you're made of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. They're like us.
Yeah, you got it. His stupid glass is kind of off kilter from reading this thing, and he's like, there's so much he wants to explain long-windedly, but you got the point already, so he's like refraining from rant.
We got time, I guess, but I'll fucking help investigate the other door if you need it.
Can if you make water, I think I'll destroy the fish if I cast this spell.
Can Branch give it a little investigator's check or whatever, a little
Sure.
perception check?
Yeah, give me a perception check. See if you spot anything that hasn't been spotted.
4.
On a 4, you don't really see anything that hasn't already been seen. Tube of glass, which is that framework. A little bit of water at the bottom, a few inches of water at the bottom. And then a fish dangling from the top, just a few inches away.
Can
And what
I? Sorry, go ahead.
What does the text say again?
The little hint reads... raise your water, dunk the fish.
Can I just try touching the metal and just casting guidance into the metal? Like, does it just need any spell to go in here, or do we have to create water?
You push a little mana into it and you cast the guidance spell, and it reacts. You feel the spell go through, but nothing changes with the fish or the water.
Right.
What if I hold my breath in front of this one?
You hold your breath in front of this one, and you look over to the right and see the pufferfish going up.
Well, there's
Well,
a vicinity
folks.
at least.
Guess this is it.
We've soft locked ourselves.
Okay. I guess I will cast that scroll then.
All right,
It's one of...
you pull out a scroll of hydraulic push.
It's going to immediately fill this to the rim and explode.
I am a big proponent that when one is casting a spell, you have control over it. However, this is a spell scroll. It's kind of a canned effect. It's kind of just going to do what the person who cast the spell initially tells it to do, which is a powerful blast of pressurized water that bludgeons the target and knocks it back.
It is a spell that it is a scroll that I do make every morning.
That is
So-
true, but when you made it this morning, did you make it weak on purpose?
No, but I made it like cool.
All right, then what do? You cast it into this thing through the Gisette?
The fish is it's raised the water and dunk the fish.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I am aiming instead to knock the fish off the hook.
Okay. All right, I love it.
If this doesn't fill the thing completely, or it's just temporarily fills the thing,
All right,
I wait for Branch to like completely hold his breath so that the other thing is full, and
Yep.
then I attempt to knock the fish off the hook.
perfect, excellent. Branch sits over there and holds his breath for 3 minutes. Eventually, you all hear once again the loud stone of that door doing something. And then you cast the spell. Roll some damage for me.
Yay! Thankfully, objects are immune to crit damage.
They are immune to crits.
God, what's the hardness of that?
Wonderful. So, some things happen here. First of all, who is nearby when this happens? Branch obviously is, because he's in front of the other
He's
door.
standing in front of the door.
Yeah. I'm in front of this door, I guess. Have to be
Ethan
touching it.
warned me this was going to explode, so I am not.
I said this might explode.
And it looks like Ruko's over in the house currently. Then Branch and Ethan, let me get from each of you a fortitude save. A lot of things happen in very quick succession, so I'm going to get the save ahead of time and we'll go from there.
Here we go. Let me just remove this from my prepared scrolls. Delete. And the fortitude.
I'm rolling so many sixes, guys.
All right. As you conjure this water through the tube and immerse the fish, essentially just blast water across this fish, the fish dangles and dances, but is not destroyed or even severed. You can immediately tell this thing must be magically protected. It must be strengthened through magic. As soon as the water touches this fish, you hear another heavy thum, and both of these doors begin to slide open. However, it's hard to notice that as it's happening because the moment that you begin doing serious damage to the tower, you see the light at the top of the lighthouse suddenly dips to this ominous, like, red sunset orange. And there is a warning noise that kind of emanates from it, and then a pulse of magic. A wave of magical force that just repels and pushes you both back. Ethan, you take 5 points of damage and are knocked prone as this blast of force kind of just like sends you to your ass in front of this door. Branch, you take a full 10 points of damage and fly back 20 feet. Kind of like, catching yourself on a tree before you hit the rocks and start to tumble down. A few.
I get up and put a brick in the door.
Yeah. A few seconds go by. The light does kind of return to its normal color. The sound stops. And the doors remain open. Oh my god, they're so loud. Why are they so loud? How does this keep happening?
Okay,
I'm gonna
Reg.
usher everyone forward to like come in before I have to like start breathing again.
Cease this.
Inside, you find a large but simple chamber. There's beautiful stonework, kind of mosaic on the floor. You can see that there are a couple of statues of a creature that, with no check required, Ruko, you recognize as Delunyama. If you're here, I know you're still over in the house. So, Ruko, you heard all of this commotion going on outside. I don't want to cut away from that scene too quickly. What were you doing in the house when that happened?
He was. Oh, jeez. He's looking around. He's looking around the rest of the house while they were trying to figure out the fish, because this place, if he found burned papers, why were they just in the fire? Like, is she... What? He's getting some vibe checks on this place. Like, where is she?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay.
If Ruko doesn't come in, Branch is gonna like look for him to like ask that. But yeah.
For sure. He had a couple minutes in there. He had at least 3 minutes alone while you guys were opening these doors. So we'll give him those 3 and then go from there.
Fair. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Also, if Ruko wants help, I would have offered root reading help, but I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Well, perception. Let's see perception.
While we're waiting in here, I'm gonna start taking 10 minutes to just treat Branch's 10 damage.
Perfect.
Applying a salve to the bruises.
Ruko,
You guys did great.
With a 13 investigation, you see a lot of what Branch did. You essentially see there's a half-eaten meal. There's like a half-eaten chunk of bread and some soup on the table. The fire is still going in the oven. It gives the impression that somebody was here just a moment ago and left quickly. But like, you don't really spot anything else. Notably, you don't see any signs of her, nor do you see signs of the book anywhere.
Okie it's fucked up. I've got feats for this, I think. If I had time, I don't know how long they'd take. Reading things, reading objects and whatnot. 3 minutes, you said, right?
Yeah, you got about 3 minutes in here. At least.
Oh golly. I sure do have a lot of tabs of cool stuff to play with.
You're looking for the one where you like touch objects and get a vibe from them, right?
Yes. Let me see. Let me read that again. Psychometric resonance. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. On objects, impressions on objects left behind. Yes, that. I am going to inspect the table.
Wonderful.
As a person living alone, you always have a favorite bowl, a favorite spoon, a thing that when you're not expecting company, I don't know. I'm just gonna find the most well-worn object from Iradia.
Absolutely.
In here.
You
Scout
find
around for that.
there's a little pewter spoon that we used that's in the soup bowl that appears like well loved and well used. You see, there's not a lot of stuff here. It's kind of just simple accommodations for a single person to live in, and you can feel that there's kind of an attachment to the spoon. That the spoon is probably something that she brought with her, and it is kind of blemish in design. It has a like very fanciful, almost whimsical curl around the base of it. This like leaf-like pattern across the handle.
True. And if you're ever living alone, you know that food is boring, and you will do literally anything else while you're eating. So she's holding this thing while she's thinking and doing other things, most likely.
True. And it is actually, it's worth mentioning since you specifically called it out. This is such a, what did you, here, give me, what, you got a 13? Yeah.
That was the perception. He was going in here with like the I will fight things from the spirit realm or otherwise.
Right.
He looks
So
around first.
go ahead and give me an occultism check to use your psychometric assessment.
Please be good. Where the Grimoire skills on his hand. You know, did I ever increase any of my stuff ever for like, skills?
You did. This level, in fact, your diplomacy went up to master.
Really?
Yeah. You are up to date. I was checking all that.
Thank you.
With an 11, you get the bare minimum effects of this ability, which still gives you a brief vision of the face and the emotions that were going through her head the last time she interacted with this spoon.
Can I use a hero point?
Sure, absolutely.
We get one at the start of the session, right?
Correct, one at the start, and you guys each just got your second one, because we are past it.
Okay. Yeah, let's try it again. I need to roll higher than a 10 at least once. There we go.
Okay. On a 26, you get just like a little bit more than what the ability normally offers. You see a brief kind of fleeting scene where the initial emotion that is running through Aradia's head, as she is sitting here with the spoon in her left hand, which is weird because she's right-handed. Her right hand is currently occupied by a pen where she is writing in this invisible ink. So she's eating with her offhand, which is a little weird. And the emotion that you get is one of like almost like a snobby sort of intellectualism as she's writing this message. But then
As usual.
she something happens off in the distance, in the blurry behind this vision that you're shown. She looks over as if listening to somebody. She speaks, but you don't hear words. Everything is muffled. It's just like this fleeting emotional visage. And the overwhelming emotion then is tension, danger, warning, alertness. And then the vision ends. And it's as you're coming out of that, like, you almost feel the emotions watch over you, this feeling of, oh, something is wrong, something is dangerous, I need to move. The fight or flight panic that starts to, like, overwhelm you is when there's a loud eruption from outside and a huge warning siren that goes off. And you hear Branch and Ethan are just, like, knocked back to their feet.
Ruko's ears perk up. He plunks the spoon down. God damn it. Okay. Run out.
Yeah, you do see the doors are open.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, thanks to you.
Hey, I read the script thing on the bottom of the. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Do the doors close now that I'm breathing again?
They don't. They seem to stay open.
Okay, good.
You do, as you step inside, you see a large but simple chamber. The first thing you notice is when you walk through each of these doors, there's like a little pull chain right next to each one. In front of you, you can see that there are two pools of babbling fresh water coming from the mouths of statues. That with no check required, Ruko, you recognize as Deluniama. This is the great ocean spirit that was freed from Lake Jodalak. This is the one who essentially makes these lighthouses work. And then in the center, you see that there's a large spiral staircase. It goes up and down. And like the interior of this building is essentially hollow. There's support structures and beams, but it's not like there's multiple floors. This goes all the way up to the top, where you see there's a little hatch that opens up, presumably to the platform upside where the big orb is. And then it does also spiral down into the darkness.
If you're wondering, you investigate the shack a little. From what I can tell, she left in a hurry as soon as we docked. Those private papers were burning very recently.
Yeah, she's probably huddled up amidst the rocks down there or something, getting all wet.
Or she
Maybe
ran
she's
in
in the
here.
lighthouse. Yeah.
She's obvious. This is the one place protected by shit.
Oh, true.
And she knows we're in right now, too. So, being friendly doesn't seem like an option anymore.
Yeah, it does. Why not?
The frantic burning of papers and alarm sounds that went out when we opened the door.
Well, she doesn't know that if we found anything.
Wouldn't she have opened it if it was someone that she was looking for?
I don't know. Maybe she had some bad visitors.
Christ.
Just saying. Keep your cool.
Can I like throw a copper piece into the fucking center of this thing and see what happens?
Sure. The map here is bad because I'm a terrible DM. That is a pillar that essentially goes down. It's not like there's just a hole that drops the whole way down.
Sure.
But it's a big stone support pillar that goes all the way down, like a feudal fort.
All right. So can we just go up then? There's nothing stopping us.
Doesn't look like it.
Slinky on it.
Yeah, if you want to start climbing, it's again. This tower is huge. It's like 20 stories straight up on a spiral staircase. That, for the record, does not have like handrails. You're essentially going up a spiral staircase 20 stories into the air with no guardrails. Which I guess you're all adventurers. That's probably fine for you. For me, that's terrifying. I would have an issue with that.
Very Tower of Quantum Knowledge.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, which one of you is most likely to break away from everyone and or disappear?
Glances at Healbode and then Branch.
I'm thinking that if you still want to do this, diplomatically, we can stay behind, and he just pulls out his second main scroll for today. Second level spell is a status.
Status.
That way I can at least find out if you get kidnapped or anything, where you are.
I'm not sure if there's anything here other than the light. I guess there's the 2 rooms in her shack. I didn't open those out of fear of, something coming at me, but
People can teleport.
I guess. What, you want to look in her shack, Ruko?
I checked the shack, but I can go up the stairs as well if she's up there. Or below. That seems a bit spooky, though.
We can head up then. But first I want to check this out real quick. You said there are chains coming from the water, guys?
Not from the water, guys. From the doors. Like when you walk in the door and look behind you, right next to each door, there's just like a little pull chain.
Oh, and that's to lock them, yeah. Okay.
Decent movement in here.
Give me a perception check. Or survival if you're like looking for tracks.
Maybe some year. There it goes.
13 perception, you don't sense anything unusual other than just the babbling of fresh water into these ponds. Or I say ponds, pools.
It's fresh water, though.
It does seem to be fresh water. It smells fresh.
How exciting.
Here, I can solve this real quick. Last thing before we go up then. And if Ruko said that she had very she was very there was tension as soon as the thing happened, right? As soon as something happened, right? So obviously she was a little frantic with shit, right?
But yeah, she certainly has some bad visitors.
Can I visual calculus something real quick and see if like, when she
Visual
ran out of the
calculus.
shack, were there any signs of like her leaving the front door, or is she in the rooms, in the shack?
For that, I would need either investigation or survival.
Investigation.
Yeah, let's see
This is
it.
perception.
Perception, yeah. Gee. Goddamn, Branch, calm down. Yeah, you kind of go back over with Ruko and do just a little check, or this could have been something you picked up on earlier. Either way is fine by me. The impression you get, based on like piecing together the story of everything you see, the burnt papers, the half-eaten meal, the spoon on the left side, the pin on the right side, she was in the middle of writing and eating at the same time. Something spooked her. You do a little bit of visual calculus and piece together that this probably happened shortly after you spoke the password to the spirits back on the ship as you were approaching. She quickly gathered up all the things she was working on, tossed it into the fire, left the shack, hurried over to the tower, entered the tower somehow, and then from there you kind of like lose the trail. But you essentially see that there are like fresh footprints in the like misty ground that lead from the shack in a hurry over to the tower and then through the left door.
Can I tell how she entered the tower? The left door, yeah.
The left door. Yeah. You. I don't. Even on a natural 20, I don't know if you can tell how she entered the tower. The only thing. The only thing you can get on a natural 20 from the footsteps, yeah, is that she didn't wait. She didn't break her stride. She walked over briskly and walked straight through, like the doors were either already open or she was able to open them quickly.
I'll go in and say, and tell everyone, no, for sure she's in here. She was eaten, and judging by how long the papers were burned in, I originally thought she saw our ship come in, but no. She was onto us the moment we spoke the password to the spirits.
I wonder, the password was, it's kind of like in a bar, you give someone a name that tells people you're in danger.
Maybe. Or she thinks we're Henry Horgan right now.
Does she not like Henry? Oh, I guess nobody likes Henry
Oh,
Horgan.
no one likes that
Wasn't it
fucker.
Henry Morgan?
Henry Horgan.
His name's Henry Horgan. He was the former, let's say, fucking trafficker who regulated this place, and apparently had some relation to her. Delivered prisoners to Latian using her lighthouse. And I don't know if that was an arrangement or if that was just her at the circumstance, but she's out into some pretty sus stuff too.
Yeah, she's definitely in league with the Cyrillian types. The tamings, she said.
Either way, go ahead.
Well,
I don't
before
trust.
she makes a signal with the lighthouse, you should probably beat her there.
I don't trust that we're gonna be safe climbing the ship. So let's make some securities. And he'll pull out some rope and tie everyone to himself, or like start tying everyone to himself. And we'll bring this out real quick. Where is it?
Efek.
Yes.
I want to make sure this is up to date. I've got my spirit siphoning morning preparation, so I got to go talk with mischief little guys.
Yeah.
I get spells for it. I want to make sure this is like correct because I want to actually use my morning preparations. I don't think I've used this very often.
Absolutely.
Master
So
occultism. Ooh.
it looks like you rolled a 4, which is the spiritual energy of, I think that's like discovery. I need to double check. But the point is that you can choose either object reading or clairaudience, and you get one of those for free today.
For spirit siphoning skill feat.
Yes.
What?
So if you scroll back up to where you did your morning preparations in chat, I think if you drag either object reading or clairaudience from that list onto your token, it'll give you like a buff that says, hey, you get one of these for free today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avoid dire fate. What the? Oh wait, sorry.
No, were you done?
I think I'll just need to scramble at this while important things happen for quite a while. Keep going.
Branch just pulls out the snap leaf and just says, Byron told me that if I fall, this thing will help with that. It'll make me fall softer, I think. I don't know. I haven't tested it out yet. You can also just tie the rope to the pillar. Either way.
Fair enough.
And yeah, Branch will spend some time like securing us all to each other and to the pillar as we go up.
Wonderful, yeah. You kind of tether everybody together to avoid any weird falls. And then, I guess, what's the order that you guys are heading up in?
I turn my weapon to a pick. I can smack it to something and hold on.
Love that, love that.
Gotcha. Do you want to go first, Ruko?
Yeah.
Sure.
Be prepared. Don't be weird. Just in case I can come up to her friendly. You know?
I really doubt it at this point, but whatever.
I don't know.
They're with the most normal terrorists on the 7 seas.
True.
True. By the way, that password is that known to be like a Spirit Weaver dealio? Or
You learned that password from Minri Horgan. It's like, it seems like something they set up with Cyrillin. That was like a Cyrilo password.
yeah, sounds like she's all spooked. Okay.
Well, I should-
Does that have any significance in like Cyril folklore?
Give me a folklore check or a religion check, either one. The DC is not terribly hard.
I'm bad at religion.
Also, in fact, I just realized I cast this spell, this scroll on Johari. The status.
Oh, got
Does it work? Does it work on undead?
it.
Because if you're both alive.
I will stretch the range of alive to mean that includes like undead.
Active?
I'm
Yeah.
into that, yeah. I think that's reasonable as long as it's cast with that intent.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to leave this one up to you. Whatever you decide here is permanent for the rest of the campaign. Anytime you use this spell, do you want this to work on undead, or do you want this to serve as a way you can detect whether somebody is really undead? Like, there's benefits to both. Which way do you want it to work?
It says one willing living creature. It makes sense to me, I think, that it doesn't work on undead.
Okay, got it. We will stick with that then. Status can effectively then be used to tell if
yeah.
somebody is really undead.
Yeah. So this wouldn't work on your. I'll just use it on someone willing. I'll use it on the captain. Or not.
Perfect. Excellent. You do find that she is indeed living.
Okay.
Meanwhile, jumping back to Foster with folklore check. Yeah, you know that the Greater Sun is referencing I believe it is the smaller blue sun. I need to double check my own lore here. But essentially, there's two suns, Hel and Zion. And this refers to Zion, which is the Zionic god, which is the one that's kind of associated with good and nice thing, as opposed to the other one that is associated with, like, evil. So it's just referring to the good god.
Gotcha.
It sounds like Ruko is heading up first, as you begin to climb these spiraling stairs.
Start climbing.
Be as close to last as possible, please.
Excellent.
So to cap the further discussion, it's spirit siphoning, not spirit reading. Now everything matches up.
Yeah. Yep, I think I might have written that wrong.
That makes sense. Okay. As Ruko's going up, he's gonna do another pull on the psychometric resonance or psychometric assessment, just as he's walking along, dragging his fingers along the walls of this ancient place.
Absolutely.
He's gonna pull deep or resent whatever one catches his fancy, whatever one feels the strongest.
Yeah, you kind of allow your finger to drape across this stone pillar in the middle of the stairs as you head up, which probably feels a little comforting given that, the other direction is falling to your death, and you're about 12 stories up currently with another 10 to go.
It's quite convenient.
And there is a moment where you kind of brush past one And you see just kind of a fleeting moment of Aradia, who feels a moment of startled panic as she looks down and realizes how high she is. And that's all. It's just like a quick moment of Aradia climbing these stairs and having a moment of like, oh, don't look down.
Ruko remembers when they were younger, and she called him. She was making fun of him for being like some kind of monkey for liking to climb so much, and he got all grumpy. Just childish things. Yeah, it feels stupid.
I'm not gonna call for fortitude saves, although I certainly could. It's a process to climb up 20 flights of stairs. But after a good 20 story climb, you eventually reach the top. You see that these stairs continue to wind up to a small platform where they reach a ladder, just a simple wooden ladder that goes up to a trapdoor.
There's a ladder at the end?
It's short. You get to the top and there's just like a 12-rung ladder that leads up to the trapdoor.
Yeah, that's how lighthouses work.
Go pushes his glasses up and looks down all of the stairs, imagines working here, and imagines she must have the ass of a god. Shakes his head. Okay. All right, where's everybody else? Are
They're tied up. They're close behind you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think popping our head in is gonna be a good idea. So, I think I'll just call out. Aradia.
Voice.
Hello. It's
Echoes.
friendlies.
Your voice echoes across the stone, carries down the tower. You hear it bounce back up eventually. The scale of this tower almost sounding like you're calling out into a canyon. But there's no response.
Hello.
Hello?
He says it just so it echoes a little bit more cool. Whoa.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
Listen to a loud pop. Okay, focus.
This is
Do
a
like a
little
barbershop
annoying,
quartet in here.
Aradia.
No response.
All right, we're gonna come up there. Are you okay?
No response.
He's gonna look back to the group and whisper, I'm gonna start climbing up the stairs and then just hop back down and just see what happens. Just give her a really long moment of suspense.
Just breach real quick. Say you're gonna breach, and then don't go in. Just
A gentle breach.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys still all tied together?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I untie myself?
You can if you want.
Do we have a reason to be tied together? Is it to
Um,
fall off the stairs? That was the deal?
Yeah, but when we had a spell push us all backwards. There's nothing stopping us from thinking, oh, this might be on here too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, maybe I'll stay tied. Okay, fine. Yeah. He's gonna go up, and he's gonna knock on the wooden panel. Hey, you're being weird. You're kind of creeping me out. Gentle breaching. Hello. He pushes it up so it like moves up like an inch and then he drops it again. Just to give it a little startle.
The DM died.
You're being.
Did he really?
Yeah.
From the chat.
Oh, he must hate us.
That's a lot like dying.
It's because I
Honestly,
hate
if
you.
you're
Sorry,
just-
man. You push up through the trapdoor and are immediately greeted with a gentle breeze, which when you're 20 stories up feels even stronger. It's kind of just a quick rush of cold, misty air across your face. And bright light as you emerge, finding yourself underneath this enormous orb. I'm going to pull you up. It is essentially just the flat top of this building that you've come up through a wooden trapdoor onto. And looking up a couple of meters, you see that there is this huge orb of light that is just kind of spinning in place. Difficult to look directly at. Even when it's kind of pointed away from you, there's still a radiant energy that threatens to like blind you if you stare at it for too long. You don't spot anybody else or anything else up here, except for a little stone plinth, about 4 or 5 feet tall, that has a glass orb kind of embedded into its top, that is kind of humming with soft magic.
I got a weird question that's probably a stretch.
Yeah.
Is this, like, orb, is it emanating, like, sunlight or, like, magical light?
Give me your spellcasting check. Give me nature. It is magical light. You don't sense that it is true sunlight.
Yeah. So just curious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to check, like, what do I know about this? I don't know, architecture, this magical feel, this sort of everything around this plinth, this altar, this setup, this dealio.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You could
Just
approach
trying to
this.
get some more context.
You could approach this one of two ways. You can either give me occultism to study it with just like your understanding of magic, or you could give me Spirit Weaver lore to approach it from the angle of what have I been told about these lighthouses.
Yeah, I'll probably start with there. Sounds like a good idea. How am I only trained in Spirit Weaver lore? Oh, it's pretty good.
Can I
That is very
esoteric
good.
lore it?
Yeah, you can also esoteric lore if you'd like.
Only if it's worse.
It's worse.
Whoa.
Ruko, your understanding of these is that you've been present when people were trained to go out and serve on one of these lighthouses. And there were a lot of concerns about, like, well, I don't know how a lighthouse works. I don't know how to operate one. I don't know how to keep it burning. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And the elders kind of reassured those trainees that these lighthouses are very magical, very old, and designed to kind of just run themselves. They don't need to be, like, regularly fed fuel. They work entirely through magic. They're very difficult to destroy. They automatically repel people who are trying to attack. They're protected with magic wards and annoying puzzles to keep people out unless they're meant to be there. Typically the puzzles are things like, oh, do you have the things that a Spirit Weaver who controls water would have? And so you get the sense that it's not terribly common that anyone needs to come up here. Typically, if you were coming up here, it would just be to, like, look at it or inspect it if you wanted to do that for some reason. But it's not like you would come up here all the time. Yeah, I think that's kind of what you get on the 22.
Keto. It's magical, is it?
Very deeply magical, built during the Age of Kings by the Basali Empire. It was kind of a unique project on a 22 because the Basali only have a little bit of magic. So for them to come over here and suddenly have access to much stronger magic was like a delight for them. They were like, oh, we finally get to build something truly monumental with access to all of these resources.
Yeah. So they like the big megalithic construction projects that are engineering and
Absolutely.
But then suddenly it's made easier by magic. So they're like, oh, big stone.
Exactly. It was very symbolic for them because Basali is across the sea to the northeast. And that was formerly a very difficult route to sail. And the fact that they had tamed the seas long enough to be able to sail down here and help with these projects was kind of like their symbolic payment for erecting all of these towers. Is, we're able to do it now, so we'll do it for free.
Whoa. Okie dokie. There's no sign of her around here, right?
Yeah, there's not really anywhere that she could hide unless she is very small and hidden behind that little plinth.
When he opened the trapdoor the first time, how much dust came off of it?
Ooh, give me a perception check.
Gotcha.
Or salt crust.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of dust from the inside and salt crust from the outside, and it's a lot. It looks like this has not been disturbed in quite some time.
Ruko, she's not up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, time to go down 20 flights of stairs without looking down, which is impossible.
Can you at least use whatever it is you know to I don't know, fucking make it so that we can get safe passage to Latan without even having to interact with her?
Hmm.
Like this light does it, right?
On
I'm not sure.
on your 22, you understand that there is a staff or a scepter that is associated with this place, and a bell that is rung with the staff to essentially summon the spirits who you tell what you want to happen. And looking around, you don't see a bell up here or a staff.
Can I perception to indicate
Yeah.
if she might be invisible?
Absolutely. Give me a perception check.
Nope, that's a 2.
Not that you can tell.
Yeah. Brant, then
For a
the
little.
second perception check to see if there's like any, like looking down through the lighthouse the entirety, is there any indication that she's around anywhere? Or like any activity that looks like what was done anywhere? Can I
Give
roll
me a
this?
perception check. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 3.
Nothing obvious. It is worth mentioning there is still the stairs do still go down. There's like a basement below here too.
There's a basement?
Yeah, the stairs go up and down.
Oh, okay, let's go down again.
Sorry, I realized when I said the stairs go up and down, that might have sounded like, yeah, of course they do. Stairs all go up and down. what I meant is that you were on the
goes
ground
underground.
floor. Right. There's a spiral staircase, and it goes up in one direction and down in the other direction. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
We missed the special basement class. Basement
Ruko,
time. Basement time.
Yeah, true. Ruko will take like 30 seconds to just like pause and go look across the horizon from up such a high vantage point. This has got to be like
Hell
whoa.
yeah. Give me a perception check.
Oh wow. Da-da-da.
Imagine admiring the view doesn't take any rolls, right?
No,
Look
it's
over
pretty
the
fun.
edge.
How did I what did I just oh weird.
You take a little time and you see as far as you can see. It's kind of hard to see from below, but from up here the effect is obvious. There is a lot of mist and a lot of fog all around you that would normally limit your visibility terribly, but you begin to kind of time your head sweep so that you're following the beam of the light as it goes around. And you see that
Right,
the
and I
beam
also
of...
need to wipe my glasses off because they got fogged up.
True, they get so misty so fast.
Was not helping.
But what you determine quickly is that the beam of light seems to momentarily, like, disperse the fog, like it is cutting through the fog to allow the light to shine even farther than normal. An effect that is more obvious from up here. However, as you're looking around on 25, you also see that there's lots of birds that kind of make their roost in the little alcoves up along the way up here, mostly seagulls. But you watch as one of these seagulls kind of is flying circles around up here, and it sees somebody pop out, and it does the thing that seagulls do, which is swoop lower to see if there's food. And there's like a flock of 3 or 4 of them, and 3 or 4 of them kind of land, some of them on the stone. One of them lands on this little plinth with the glass orb into it, and you watch as soon as it touches it, it boop, vanishes.
Oh. The sea chicken just died. Did you see that? In there?
I rolled
Plain English,
17
please.
for the plinth earlier, but I guess that didn't come up with anything.
With the 17 on the plinth, it's obviously magical, but you don't immediately know the effect.
Yeah, well, I guess it takes people somewhere else.
You can call
No,
evil
don't you-
Wolf back whenever bad things happen, right, Foster?
Oh, I know.
I can, well, stand by.
In a week,
Wait.
though.
I have a thing for this too. Okay, looks around. Let's see.
I know it's different for witches than it is for other familiars, but let me look up the rules.
I want homunculus sea chicken.
Homunculus sea chicken.
Shadow spy. I need a minute. If I can summon a little creature and he'll do things. Maybe touch the thing.
Sure.
Yeah, I could resummon Yulvo tomorrow if I needed to.
No, but she's so cute. Don't hurt her.
She is extra cute.
She's real, right?
Fieldwood?
Who knows?
I do wonder sometimes because
She's a real creature.
I think she might be older than me.
Okay. Here's a plan. Maybe we get I can get like a small daemon or collect a few and put them together and have me like take the form of a chicken. I mean the seagull. Have him go in there and check it out. Touch it? Maybe it's a portal.
You take a minute and you begin to conjure this shadow spy, this little homunculus. And then what do you do? You have it touch the orb?
Yeah. It'll be real goopy and kind of creepy at first, like it's a bunch of seagull doo-doo that turns black and swirly, and then it kind of forms into a almost normal-looking seagull-ish. It looks like a seagull.
Love that.
Yeah. He's gonna... I'll give him a good little pat. Like, oh, you're so cute. Hey, you go check out that orb. You should touch it.
It kind of cocks its head to the side and it nods like it's about to do it. What
It's a
condition do you want to give it to
anything.
come back to you?
If there's a new space inside there, come back. And if, wait, can I tell you multiple things? You realize he's talking to a seagull.
It says it must be fairly simple, so
Yeah,
kind of, as long as it's simple.
He says, okay. If there is a place in there, come back. And squawk one time. If there's a place in people, come back and squawk. Squawk. 2 times. Squawk means there's people.
Amazing. Okay. This weird little homunculus kind of takes on its fully coalesced shape. And it does a little hop. It flies briefly, just long enough to land on the orb. And as soon as its claw touches, boom, it's gone.
I think he's dead.
Some time goes by. The wind continues to blow past you. You feel mist on your face. There's kind of a silent hum as the magical light above you spins around. And then you hear the sound of feathers. Several seagulls begin to kick up, seemingly startled out of one of their arches that they had perched in. And then you see your creation is the thing that has spooked them out of there. And it continues to fly up and eventually comes to rest right in front of you. Squawks once and then vanishes. And you, as soon as it vanishes, you receive everything that it saw. And what you saw is that as soon as it touched the orb, it found itself back down on the ground floor of this tower, in front of the 2 pools. It took a moment to look around, it looked back up, and began to fly up.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah, it probably looked really fucked
Don't
up when
have
that
to
seagull
walk.
disappeared too, because it like poofed, turned into like this blackish dust, and then it like absorbed into Ruko's eyes, nose, and mouth for like a split second. Oh, it's just a portal downstairs.
Fucking
They were lazy here. And Ruko will go
I'm
up
sorry,
and
they-
he'll
they-
clap a hand on the orb like way before anybody else is ready.
I'm sorry. They made a portal down, but not a portal up.
yeah. What? Oh, wait. They probably do have a portal up.
All right,
Hold
let's
on.
find it.
Let's go
But this
find
is
out.
faster.
Yeah, let's touch the.
He'll
let's
slap
touch this
the orb.
portal.
All right.
Not
Who
slap
touches
it,
it first?
just clap a hand on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruko
Ruko
claps a
like
hand on
this.
top of it. Poof, gone.
Ruko dies.
And that
Is-
was my
can-
story.
Hey, are you down there?
Status spell in Ruko would be so helpful if I had to cast it.
True. You call
Yes.
down, and it echoes all the way down 20 flights of stairs. Ruko, you do hear them yelling from up at the top of the tower. As you look up, you find yourself on the ground floor again.
Yole. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm alive.
What Basali language is this?
I don't know.
It's old Basali for fuck you. Get down here.
But I'm not keen on leaving him without a handler for too long. So, Branch touches the orb.
Come on, it's cool.
What happens to the rope?
Yeah,
Go
what?
for
Do
it.
we just like disintegrate
Yo,
from
get
it?
sucked into the orb. That'd be pretty funny. It's like spaghetti. Just kidding. Like,
one after the other just pulled into it.
Yeah. Did the DM die again?
I think he hates us or loves food more than us. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
that's true too.
That is true. Sorry, I was putting my plate away. Yeah, so what a fun question. I think that
We get torn
when
asunder.
two people are tied up together and one of them teleports, I'm setting an important precedent here that I have to be so careful with. I think it is a tug of war game. So if there are three people tied to the rope and one of them touches the portal, the two stay behind with the rope. When those two people are all that's left and one of them touches the orb, whoever has more mass takes the rope with them.
The whole rope?
The whole rope.
The whole rope.
It kind of magically shunts itself free from the other one. With a little bit of a tug, but non-violent.
The chicken and the fox.
Yeah. Yeah. One way or another, the rope ends up back down there with all of you back on the ground floor.
And it's whole and not cut.
Whole and not cut.
What?
Magical shunting is a well-known phenomenon where when something tries to transform or grow or shrink into a space where it can't fit, the particles of the object just kind of rearrange themselves so they pop free.
Shunting sounds like a dirty word.
Shunting does kind of sound like a dirty word. It's a real word, though.
What do we come out of?
You basically appear right in... yeah, you do just appear right in front of the staircase. You don't, come out of the pools.
Okay, and if I touch the staircase?
If you touch the staircase? Nothing.
Teleport? No?
No,
We
nothing would
did
happen.
just walk on it. So
Fair.
it's odd to me that they have... It's easier to walk downstairs than up. Why do they have...
Sometimes
whatever.
You think maybe the
It's a work
portal
for the
up is in the
journey.
basement? Like you have to walk up to go
Oh.
down, you have to go down to go up. Maybe they just got it backwards.
Maybe they are just stupid.
Well, we do have to check the basement.
Why not?
This is a spiral staircase going down with walls on all sides and a pillar in the middle, right?
Correct.
So we could just roll a ball down there and have it bounce forever.
Certainly.
Can I
really
collect
just
some of
wanna
this
put a
spring
slinky
water in a water skin?
Yeah, absolutely. It's cold, it's cool, it's fresh, it's clear.
Ooh,
Just
is
in
it
case.
magical? I don't know.
Give me an occultism check.
Do I have a special thing for this? Let's see. I have a sense. I have a magic thingy sense, I think. Ish.
You wipe your glasses and see water.
Oh wow, I can wipe my glasses and actually see. Holy. Okay. You don't worry,
When
maybe
you
you
took your glasses off earlier, I make a distraction.
Oh, nice. Magical auras, illusory.
He'll cup his hands in the water to focus on that bit of water.
Wonderful. You learn that the water itself is mundane, but the statues are magical and there's a little bit of conjuration on them.
Probably purifiers.
With conjuration, you get the sense they're probably summoners. It is likely that this is pulling water straight from the plane of elemental, or the elemental plane of water.
Fascinating.
You could sell this for so much money.
I wonder if it's symbolic or if we'll need it downstairs or something. I'm gonna carry a bit of it just in case.
Imagine the bougie bitches in the Famador branch. How much they pay for some pristine water from another plane.
I
Oh, yeah.
don't think they have a concept of... I mean, I didn't have a concept. Another plane was.
Exactly. That's why it's pricey. Huh?
Sure, we could bullshit an excuse, but you could do that with normal water, too.
True. But this time you're not lying.
I'm so glad that honesty is one of your core pillars when it comes to swindling people.
You guys
Well-
beginning to head down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you gotta
I mean-
lie to make your sale worth
Yeah.
more.
But with the high priced buyers, they're gonna use other spells and they'll figure out that you're lying and then they won't pay you as much. If you're not lying.
So you wanna just sell it, not swindle? What a wild concept.
You can do the same
Imagine.
thing for real crimes too. Just don't let them know that they're doing a bad thing and they won't be lying.
I guess.
Simple as that. He's walking down the stairs.
As you start to get downstairs, it isn't long before you realize there are no lights in this stairwell, and that it's fully enclosed. So after like 2 or 3 rotations, it's basically pitch black. I think some of you have dim light vision. I think at least
I
one
have
of you
dark
has
vision.
dark vision. Branch and Ruko and Kaz, do you guys bring any lights with you, or do you start a light up?
Yeah, Branch's middle finger.
Perfect. So a little bit of torchlight. I say torchlight,
His
a little bit
middle
of
finger?
candlelight, essentially.
Oh, it's okay.
I like how you literally just to say fuck off to the darkness. Just middle
Yeah.
finger at the dark room and it lights up.
Hold on, guys, I got some. Just start flicking everyone.
Perfect. Excellent. You begin to go lower and lower and lower. Let me get perception checks from everyone.
This is not the time to be fucking blind. I'm fucking blind.
Is it time for new experience? For new hero points?
You guys already got them. You guys should have your second one.
I shall use it on this, I suppose.
If I activate the flaming room, does that also count as light?
I think so. I'll double check real quick.
Sure, why not? The flaming room.
It
one-
rolled exactly this lower.
Yeah, you can kind of just like wave your chain and let the fire licking up off of the sides of the links do a little bit of
Yeah.
light as well.
Fair. Okay.
Who is in the front? Who's leading?
I shall.
Branch
Unless
got
Ruko
light
wants to.
And I don't know.
Unless
Ruko
Ruko
would
wants
want
to.
to, but if somebody has light, they probably should be in front.
I can see in the dark, so I can walk in the front.
Probably like Branch then Ethan, because Branch has a lot of light sources on him.
Okay.
That would help
I
out.
have 28 candles.
Oh,
There-
spend less.
But
on
I'm not
candles.
lighting. I can put them on me.
There is a point after about maybe 5 stories down where you come across something that is like kind of weird at first glance for those with normal vision. And frankly, even with dark vision, it's kind of hard at first to make sense of what you're seeing. But you see it in time to like assess it before you walk right into it. The stairwell seems to be flooded, or at least you reach a point where the steps descend down into water. In other words, the steps just keep going, but you hit water.
It looks like we're going to be heading underwater.
Do we still
What
have
kind
the
of-
earrings that let us breathe underwater? The
Not
Mariner's
for a
earrings?
while.
You tell me those are like one-time consumables. I don't know if you've
Oh,
used
they're
them.
one-time consumables? Then we
Right.
used them already. I need to get rid of it.
Foster and I don't need to breathe. I don't know what potions Foster made earlier.
How much do they cost?
I don't
The
know.
Mariner's earrings?
Oh, I need to double check.
Let me look.
They are 5 gold each.
Okay. If one of us wants to go down and check, Ethan, you can breathe underwater?
I don't need to breathe.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you can see underwater too?
If it's dark, I can see, yeah.
You want me to come with you and we can check it out, scope the place out to see if it's good for everyone?
Sure.
Alright.
Sorry,
Um,
I'm back.
We found water!
I heard. I suggested earlier, I'm not bullshitting this, suggested that we make water breathing and
yeah.
swimming
Yeah, I remember seeing
potions. Yeah, but I figured I would leave it up to the party what we thought might be most useful.
Sure.
Branch, Ethan, and Foster can breathe underwater. And I can prescient planner some Mariner's earrings into existence for Rico and Kaz, which is cheaper than the water breathing potion.
Is a prescient planner or prescient consumable? Do you have both of them?
Right, Potion
Potion
Planner has to be
consumable?
non-magical until you get the upgrade version.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, never
Yep, yep.
mind. Sorry.
You're-
All right.
problem.
Um,
Yeah. Water breathing, and I think it makes sense because we're surrounded by water.
Okay.
Oh, swimming is expensive.
Oh, that
I don't think we
copied-
can make.
Never mind the swimming.
That copied the entire chat log for the past, like, 48 hours.
Oh dear. Oh,
I meant to
God.
just I meant to just copy the price list, which I think is at the bottom there, but it copied all of
Hey,
chat.
we got the last bid.
There you go.
for
So that
you.
very last bit there has the prices.
Oh, now they are expensive. I don't think we need too much.
So 3 of us can already breathe underwater. We could like check it out to see.
Well, you can hold your breath for 30 minutes. It's close enough.
I sure can. Yeah.
Water breathing for our folks who need to breathe, I think.
All right.
They're cheap, so it's not so bad.
Then you did mention that you were going to make some of these ahead of time, so if you want, you can go out and pop a couple of water breathings for the people that need it. You feel the strange sensation kind of coat the inside of your lungs. You feel a tingly feeling, and then like a wet, almost choking feeling that gives way to sort of just a pleasant gill-like membrane that begins to process water. You continue down through the water.
Yeah, how much more GP? I guess we should probably decide.
Yeah, probably good to decide this before we continue on.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So 22 gone on water breathing, or just...
Yeah, 22 on water breathing makes sense. On our 2 folks who need to breathe. And Branch doesn't super need it because he can hold his breath for 30 minutes, which is essentially forever.
We need to breathe, but do we really think she's down there in the water? I mean,
Where else did
There's
she go?
nowhere else she can be.
yeah, she could check around the island or something.
She walked into this lighthouse and there are no footsteps coming out.
I know potion
Really?
of swimming is expensive, but swimming in the water, it takes a while if you don't have a swim speed.
I'd say anybody who needs to like move around in combat is probably gonna want that.
Yeah.
I'd like one.
So pop 2 of those too for our melee boys.
Has some water stuff. I have water-based things, I think. No,
I
I
know
think
you can
it's
hold your
just-
breath, but I think it's just that.
Okay, it's just that. Yeah, maybe swimming then.
Excellent.
Would Ruko have any interest in a truth potion?
Yeah,
Trying to slip her a potion?
that would be interesting. Or I can just rend the knowledge from her brain. The potion will be very useful, I think, too. We'll keep it on hand, yeah.
Yeah, mark you down for
in
one
case.
truth potion. Even if you don't use it now, you'll have it later.
Okie dokie. Guys, this place is really creepy now.
I bet. So 142 remaining.
Invisibility would be cool.
Just a bunch of invisibility potions. Maybe that could be useful later, even.
Yeah, that's actually not a terrible idea.
Yeah, flying would be really cool just for just to have, not even now, but just to have.
It's 100 though.
Yeah, that's 100.
We can make a what is it? Invisibility potion for each of us.
You got 142 gold worth left.
Yeah.
So
You can make one potion of
60.
flying and have 42 left over.
No, not potion of flying. Invisibility.
Oh, sorry, just kidding. Yeah, yeah, you could make one for each of you and have 2 left over if you want.
All right.
I'm game for that.
Yeah.
Excellent. I have put all of the potions into into party loot right there in front of you guys. You guys can drag them into your own inventory. I did not put in the 2 water breathings that you guys just drank.
Sure. And potion of swimming.
Those just go into our inventory immediately if we
Yep.
drag them onto ourselves. All right, good. I took 1 invisibility potion, 1 swimming potion.
With that out of the way, you guys pop your potions of water breathing and continue down the stairs. You continue for quite some time, moving a little bit more sluggish, as you have to kind of drag yourself through the water and fight the natural buoyancy that your body kind of wants to go back up. Although with water breathing, it does fill your lungs, which kind of helps a lot with that problem. Eventually, as you push lower and lower through the stairs, Once again, with Branch and Nathan at the front, you come across an equally strange phenomenon. You see that just a few steps down is the end of the water. You see that there is the shimmering underside of water, and it seems to be air beyond that.
God damn it. Yeah, let's just keep going, I guess.
Yeah, you breach through, and sure enough, you feel dry air kind of push through and surround you. Your body is still wet as you emerge out from it and look up, and you see that there's just like an upside down surface of water suspended, like trapped halfway in the middle of this stairwell. And you also see, as you kind of breach through, that you are near the bottom of this stairwell. And you can see that it opens up into a little landing where there is a little bit of soft greenish light pouring into this landing.
That's the color you spellcast a lot, right, Rico?
You can. What?
Don't Spirit Weavers do a lot of green and stuff?
Remember what I'm looking at? Sorry, oh, just spells.
At the sorry, at the bottom of the staircase, you can see it's landing, and there's like sea green light that's pouring into that land. And you know that all spellcasters, even among Spirit Weavers, kind of have their own signatures and flavors, but a lot of them do have kind of a sea green magic.
Okie like danger? I'm gonna go and investigate, I guess. Get closer.
Yeah, you guys begin to approach. Are you quiet about this? How do you guys approach?
I think. Careful. Are we swimming right now?
You just kind of breached out from the underside of the water. There's like a magical bit of water stuck in the middle of the stairwell.
Okay.
And you came out from the underside, and you look up and see there's water above you.
That's cool. Okay.
I think we just go in, right? I mean, this is what people do here. She already knows we're here.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything stopping us from... She's definitely got something prepared behind there.
Mm-hmm. Let's get ready.
All right. Yeah, you guys kind of just step out like you own the place. And sure enough, when you reach the bottom and look out, you can see that there's another enormous chamber. Directly in front of you, you can see that there are 7 statues that are kind of lined up to face you. Of 7, it looks like kings. Mostly human, although there is 1 elf and 1 goblin. Beyond those statues, you see like a little courtyard. There is dirt and grass growing down here. There are stepping stones that kind of connect this courtyard across to the other side, where you see that there is another platform with a large statue of Deluniama, the spirit of the sea, and a couple of murals that have been painted back there. And standing in the middle of this courtyard, you see a faucet. You see Aradia holding a staff that has a lantern kind of hanging from the top of it that is emitting this soft sea green light. You can see that there's like the refracting light of water that is bouncing off all of the surfaces in the ceiling and the walls, although you don't see any water down here. And Aradia is kind of just like looking at all of you as you step in and says, "Oh, hello."
Oh, hi.
Bruco?
Well, it's been a minute.
Is he still disguised? I can't remember.
That is a good question.
No. Once he got inside this lighthouse, he's like, okay, get this shit off me.
She kind of lowers the staff towards you and says, "I heard the alarm. What are you doing here?"
I'm traveling with a bunch of idiot friends. We figured out the thing, though. Just a bit ungraceful. Are you okay?
"I'm fine. Don't come any closer. What do you..." She kind of lowers the staff and comes a little bit closer. "Can I help you? What are you doing at the lighthouse?"
We are. She might be able to tell, like, Ruko when he's impersonating his brother, just a little bit for dramatic effect. But like, we're on a grand mission. Who are my friends here?
Okay. Alright, so you need passage somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe let them explain a bit? It's your story to tell?
She turns and looks at the rest of you.
We information from one of your former clients about the ability to travel to Lateon safely using this lighthouse. I ain't know how it works.
Yikes.
To Luteon.
That's where we need to be.
You need to get to Lateon. And one of my former colleagues, who did you speak to about this?
Does that matter? Someone who's just willing to tell.
Not many people know of Luteon. If there are loose lips, then I'd like to know.
He's just being a bit shady. Yeah, friendly glare to the group. Anyway, yeah, we have some people who need to go and, yeah, it's complicated, but I know that we have connections there, we control the seas. And I figured, if you're the operator of the lighthouse, it's probably best to go speak to you here. So, I don't know, can you help?
Give me a diplomacy check, Ruko.
Okey-dokey.
Can I aid him?
Sure, how do you?
But just kind of corroborating, saying, yeah, we mean no harm. We just have this. We're friends of Ruko's, and we won't do anything harmful.
Sure. Yeah, you can give me a diplomacy check.
This is just to help him out, if it works.
Oh, all right.
Success?
It is. It's a critical success.
Okay, so +2, I think?
Yep. Bumps up to 27 for Rook. She gets this, like, puzzled look on her face. I still would like to know where you learned about all this, but yes, I can help. Just stay where you are. Don't cross past the statues. This place is sacred. Until I tell you to. Give me a moment, and I'll get things arranged. Are you traveling by ship?
Yeah.
Just the one?
You don't know.
Well, I don't, and I do need to know so that I can tell the spirits who to help. Is it here? I assume that it is moored outside?
He does it kind of like a playful bow. Sorry. But you must know everything in the seas around here, oh grand lighthouse wielder.
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be nice, but it's actually kind of quiet out here. I don't know much
Yeah.
except for what I'm told.
Just a ship.
All right, ship moored outside needs to get to Luteon. You're leaving immediately?
Why, you want us to go?
Well,
So
no,
fast?
I just need to know when to tell the spirits to take you.
Oh, he
When we're
looks
able.
back to the group. Yeah. I think it's kind of pressing. He looks at Kaz with trauma on his face.
I mean, I'll look at Ruko and be like, she has things you need to know. I thought you wanted to get that out.
Yeah, Ruko knows what he's doing.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys been around Ruko long enough to where this is like a friendly plus. Like it's a little,
This makes sense.
a little more diplomacy going on here. He's doing something. It's just probably annoying because it's Ruko doing something.
and then he says, "Yeah, sooner the better, I guess."
Very well. Wait over there. Give me just a moment. And you see,
Certainly.
she begins to walk back over towards this statue. And you can see that there's a bell hanging from its mouth. And you can also see that just sitting at the statue's foot... Oh my god, Jack, please don't kill me. Sitting at the foot of the statue, there is like a little pile of belongings, including a book with a bunch of papers under it.
Is it the thickness of a book that I had imagined would be the book?
Give me a perception check.
Squint.
While he's rolling that, is she buying this, or is she about to, like, sound the alarm and kill us all?
Give me a perception check.
I'm fucking blind.
Branch is gonna take a few steps back to behind the wall of the staircase.
Are we still attached by a rope?
I assume you undid the rope.
It'd be a bit awkward, yeah.
Ruka, from all the way over here, it's a big, thick, important-looking book, but it's hard to really tell anything more than that from all the way over here. Again, you're basically looking across a warehouse currently. Foster on a 19, she's acting timid. She is clearly in a state of distrust. She heard an alarm, and then a bunch of people showed up without warning. She really got hung up on the fact that you guys even know about Luteon and said you spoke to a colleague, but then wouldn't clarify. I think on a 19, that is the thing that Foster catches, is that bothers her and has not stopped bothering her. Her wheels are turning about, okay, who is this colleague? Who did they talk to?
Okay.
Nonetheless, she comes over here and she begins to hold the lantern up to the inside of the bell, and you start to feel that it hums and vibrates, and there's just this long, drawn-out, gonging noise that builds like a swell, almost like a pad instead of a distinct hit of a bell, that just fills the chamber and begins to cause the light in here to ripple, like sound waves traveling over the surface of water, as the whole place seems to just shimmer with light.
What you doing?
Summoning the spirits. It'll just be a moment. I'll need to speak with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to just dully whisper to Ruko if I can.
Yeah.
She doesn't trust us. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah. It's good to see her a little timid, to be honest. She's kind of a bitch. But this is
We
not
have her
good.
cornered, though. She's dangerous.
True. Just be cautious.
She continues to kind of perform some motion, some ritual over by the bell, but she does call out over her shoulder, how did you get in?
With the fish thing?
Yeah,
We just held our breath.
that's smart.
And
You figured it out, though? Just like all by yourself?
it... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See, she's kind of a bitch.
You're right.
Gotcha. How've studies been? I haven't heard anything about you for a long time now.
Well, world is chaos, but studies go on. Still learning a lot. You know.
She strikes the bell. It rings across the room, kind of too loud to speak over for a moment, and eventually when it dies down, sorry, that I gotta do that part.
Yeah, it's been kind of nice though. A bit of travel, lots of taverns, like people to talk to, and meeting new folks, new food, new experiences.
You been to a lot of places?
Yep, all over. It's been kind of cool.
Have you been over to the Whistling Isles yet?
Well, I like my soul in my body. I would like to see it,
Oh, it's
but it's
not that bad. You just many of them don't speak common. You'd have to learn Basali.
E response in Basali. I know it.
Foster, give me a perception check.
Honestly, I bet she hated that.
Yeah, since you've guessed it out of character, I'm just going to give it to you for free. That was a test, and she does not like the result.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know how much I can really do to alleviate that.
Well, that's spooky. Things I don't know. All right. Boy. Is that to the northeast, you said?
It is.
From here, let's see.
Pull up a little map here real quick. She's talking about going way over here to the east. Oh, that's the wrong tool. But where you guys are going, up here to the northeast. Technically all part of the Whistling Isles, but she was presumably talking about the inhabited parts of the Whistling Isles.
Yeah.
Kaz doesn't like Basat, right? Or Basatat, right?
Bazatat.
I don't know if Kaz... I don't presume to know Kaz's thoughts about Bazatat, if he has any.
I thought they were like the false flag people that attacked his...
They were. That is who presumably attacked his people. But he has reasons to doubt that.
Fair.
You don't like them Bazatatis. But all the bodies and the weird spirits earlier in the ocean were all floating toward a direction to the northeast.
To the northeast, yeah.
Toward Luteon.
Eventually, there is another strike of the lantern against the bell. It gongs, and then everything goes silent and still. The ripples stop. Everything seems to go very quiet, and you hear her voice in Basali begin to speak. Spirits of the ocean, and she looks over to Ruko, have need of your service. I have visitors who have made a request. If you could accompany me, please, I would like to arrange travel plan with them. She strikes the bell again, and everything resumes motion. She says, all right, well, I mean, it usually takes a few minutes for them to show up. What are you going up to Luteon for?
It was me. I told them about you. It's sorry. It's harder to explain. I'm a lot older than it looks, and it looks like I'm pretty old.
Yeah.
I have the best memory. I'm not entirely sure if I came this way before but I feel like I need to get there, and I remembered your name, or I at least remembered the lighthouse. I brought them here.
Give me a deception check.
A panic lie from somebody who's bad at lying.
I love to see it.
Somehow, and I don't know how.
I'll use a hero point.
All right, let's see it.
Is there any way I can help? Oh, jeez. Nodding and affirmations.
Better.
You could, boy, if you want to try to like prop this lie up with a deception check of your own, you can do that. So yeah, right.
Got a lot of heat on you right now.
If you're not
With
familiar
deception
with
check?
with current events being shacked up in this lighthouse, there have been callings of undead lately, and a non-plus of that amount of them do want to head to Luteon. That's how I imagine a few more than us know about it now.
Plus, Ruko will add some story bits to it with his deception. Yeah, when you tried to describe it before, and it was like the blinking tower, and we're like, what the hell is it? It took like days. We finally figured out it was a lighthouse.
Should Branch add one too?
Yeah. Anybody who's trying to help can throw a deception check here. Notably, they don't like stack, but you can take whoever gets the best.
Fair.
So that does bump Ruko from a 14 to a 15.
Or Foster?
Foster to a 14, or from a 14 to a 15. And Aradia kind of looks at Foster. I'm sorry, did I know you in life? Maybe. I don't recognize you.
It's possible. Trouble with undead. My memory's hazy on a good day. I just remembered the tower. Mostly the lighthouse, sorry.
I have a spell that can help clarify old memories. Do you mind if I cast it on you?
Insight check.
Give me an insight check.
Me too, because I know this.
Sure.
I know her. She's weird.
Oh yeah, while we're talking to her, can I esoteric lore find her weaknesses?
Sure, absolutely.
No, no.
Make her mad.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm. Nope.
Amazing.
I think I'll use my hero point on it.
Devise a stratagem still needs to be in combat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
There we go.
Okay. Let's run through these top to bottom, or we'll go low to high. Ruko,
I'm exploiting your vulnerability.
perfect. Ruko seems to be honest. She seems to have a spell that she wants to cast on Foster. Foster with the 24, you can see that there's like a click in her mind. She really does have a spell that really can piece together memories. She wants to see your memories more than she wants to help clarify your memories. She's trying to get information. And then Nathan with a 28 on a, let me see if that's critical or regular. That is critical. She doesn't have any mortal weaknesses. She has a personal antithesis. I think it's appropriate here that her personal antithesis is just like the bare naked truth. She loves for things to be couched in secrecy. It's so obvious to you when you look at her that she is a person who plays things close to the chest. From a combat standpoint,
I reached into my pack, and I somehow found her diary.
To the threat of exposing her might be the best way to play that. Is she loathes the idea of having her game called. And then from just like a combat standpoint, on a critical success, her lowest save is fort. She's clearly just kind of a run-of-the-mill spellcaster. She does. How do I put this? How do I put this? She is not wearing gloves, which is a little uncommon for some mages. She has attire, especially around her wrists and her hands and her arms, that suggests she is comfortable using her claws in a fight. I'm not entirely sure what gives that away, but on a critical success, you can see that she is battle ready. She is wearing equipment that she would use if she was expecting combat. And in that battle ready equipment, she has left her claws exposed. She probably has a decent claw attack. In spite of being a wizard.
You also remember Ruko saying, yeah, she's a bitch, and he did a little claw motion as he spoke.
Okay.
I mean, no offense. I'm sure you're really powerful, but I've had all kinds of spells cast on me to try and clear things up. I think some of it's just gone to time at this point.
I understand. That's all right. I don't want to pry. I'm sure you understand what we do at the lighthouses is well known, but our connections are not as well known. If there is a breach somewhere, if information is leaking, our organization is going to want to know so that we can patch it.
I haven't told anyone other than, well, I happened upon Ruko, but...
True. He happened upon me, Ruko. Zorakai. The ones who keep things together, keep leaks from happening.
Yes, your brother is very good at that, and your mother was too. Do they know you're doing all of this, Ruko? Or are you just kind of playing hero?
He just gives her a dull look. Yes, everyone's in the know. We're all doing our own thing for supporting the cause.
You talk to them? They know you're here? Your brother knows you're here?
He doesn't have to know.
But does he?
Does he need to?
She kind of just purses her lips. Are you trying to cast that spell?
Yes.
So notably, she will immediately know that you're trying to cast the spell. It is not a subtle spell.
Do I have any subtle spell casting?
Let me double check to make sure that's still true after the thing. Yeah, this is not a subtle spell. She will see that you're casting a spell towards her.
That is such a dumb spell then, actually. Okay, it's like an interrogation thing.
Yeah.
Also, it does take
It has a
minute.
cast time of a minute. Yeah, it's mostly made for
That's
interrogations.
gross. That's interrogation. Okay. New spell. Don't know what I'm doing.
If you want, we can knock her a bit and hold her down. So, is that something you? It seems you're still trying to be friendly.
Okay, look,
You-
Aradia, look. We found the leak, as in I have found have these companions here. One of them has these ephemeral memories. And look, there's a leak. We have him with us in our party on an isolated island in the middle of nowhere. With you, another one of our allies. So, we are controlling it actively now. This is part of the quest. Don't worry too much. That's what we're trying to explore. So, are you going to help, or are we just? What's? You seem really on edge.
I am.
I'm a little confused.
The alarm just went off. Ruko, I like you. You're great and all, but if you don't have Amar's permission and he doesn't know you're doing this, then I have to call this off. And she starts to walk back over
He
towards the bell.
does have I have his permission. Lassie was the one who, I don't know, he's been help with guidance this whole time. We stay in the loop. There's nothing that he knows that I don't, or nothing that I know that he doesn't know, necessarily. You know he's sneaky. Yeah. This is part of the mission. I know you've been isolated out here, so you don't need to be in every sort of correspondence, but here we are. We're informing you now.
She squints. You can see that she's really pondering. She's like, the wheels are turning in her head. She knows this whole thing is fishy, and you can see that she's calculating whether it is worth her trying to make an issue out of it. Eventually, you see that she kind of lowers her shoulders, lowers her staff. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to send a message back to him just in case. So if he didn't, he's going to know you were here for real. But it sounds like that's okay.
Yeah. Actually, can you tell him I traded that cool shell to one of the guys?
One of the guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell him that.
Sure.
You start to feel just a little bit of a rumble, and the shimmering lights all around you begin to vibrate, again, like the water is rippling. And you watch as a spirit begins to just kind of apparate up through the ground, seeping through the soil and forming itself near her.
Whoa.
It bows, and she bows back to it. She holds the staff aloft and says, in Basali, I have need of your services. There is a ship moored outside. It is heading to Luteon. If you could report to your mother and let her know to open the channel and leave it open for... we'll do a window starting 4 days from now and ending 8 days from now. And the spirit looks to her and then looks to all of you and says, is that all you will be needing from me, lady? And she nods. That will be all. Very well.
Passage back.
Do you call that out in character?
Yeah.
She looks over. How long will your business at Luteon be?
I don't know, I guess with the party.
I think Kaz only has like 20 days left, so I
The cast technically has like 2.5 months left.
have no idea.
It's true, I'm literally dying as we speak. I'm
So-
fading away.
ASAP would be nice.
Uh,
But
What I'm asking is, how long should I keep the window open for you to get in, do your thing, and get out?
you don't have anything to tell you that when we leave?
Not easily, no. The water is fast, but not as fast as wind. We have to plan these things out in advance.
Can I perception check that? Or, like, insight that?
I could just send a message directly into your dreams. Or your mind.
Hope
Branch
Rich.
doesn't know magic. Branch knows nothing about magic.
If you want to do it that way, that is fine. It's worth mentioning that after I send this order, it will still take some time for Delunia to get it and to open the path. So it could be a day or two after you send your message that I reopen the channel. But if that works, we can do it that way.
Okay, you gotta close it first after we go through.
Yes,
and
we can't
then
just
reopen it.
we can't just leave it open.
I think it'd be better if we had it taken care of before we left. This bitch is gonna strand us if we don't get it in writing.
Yeah.
We just want to leave as soon as our business is done there. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I just need to know how long the business is.
We ain't got any clue.
Just call it a week, err on the safe side.
Very well. She turns back to the spirit. Open it 4 days from now, and close it 11 days after that. The spirit nods. Anything else, my lady? That will be all. And the spirit begins to simply meld back down through the dirt and disappear.
That was pretty cool.
It's not a bad gig. Is that all?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the official business.
Is there unofficial business?
Well, I don't know. I kind of. Are you bored here? Like, do you want to show me around, or I don't know. Like,
Man,
you've
why
been
not
here
just
for
be
a
fucking
while, haven't you?
upfront about it? You've been talking about meeting her for a while.
Well, yeah, I used to know her. And look, we're going to the middle of nowhere, in the middle of some new place, and now look, there's somebody I know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. Fucking old crushes die hard and all that. But why not just be upfront for the first time?
She does laugh.
I never had a crush on this one.
That what this is all about?
No.
Oh my
No.
god, it is.
No.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to go to Latania.
Actually, no.
but
no,
he's
no, no,
with
no.
us. He's got no business there. Don't know why he's tagged along this far.
Because of the information source. And there's so much. Oh my god, there's so many reasons. Okay.
Well, I have a lot of work to do. If you want to just hang out until nightfall, we could talk then.
Sure.
Does
You're
the
still being
ground-
sketchy.
What's that?
Like, I know he showed up.
How about that, boss?
Does the ground here where she's standing look like she's the only one who's been walking on it? She told us not to go past like the statues. Does it seem like she's let other people pass?
Give me survival.
Oh wait, survival. That's an actual one. That's not perception. I
You
lied.
can keep your nat 19, just whatever it would be for survival.
Survival. Where are you? +6, so 25.
25. On a 25, you begin to look to see if other people have passed through here. And what you quickly discover is there are no signs of anyone ever walking across this courtyard at all. And what's more, there are many things wrong with this courtyard. There are many plants here that only grow if they have exposure to a lot of sunlight and are not native to this region whatsoever. There are trees growing in ways that they don't normally grow with fruits that don't belong to those trees. The stones are all kind of cut from different types of shale that don't line up with each other. There's no wildlife whatsoever anywhere in this courtyard. No bugs, no nothing like that. And I think the thing that stands out to you the most when you begin to inspect it with a critical success is the light that is cast all around this room is coming from somewhere. It is bouncing off of water somewhere, but you don't see any water anywhere.
weird ass room.
Let me read a thing real quick. When you begin to study it and when you critically succeed, you and only you begin to have a little bit of that like magic eye effect where you realize you are looking at an illusion.
Yeah. Okay.
And what you see through it is a shimmering pool of water. And what's more, it is faint. You're looking through the obscurance of an illusion that is hiding these creatures. But you can see that there are creatures in the water, which at first just look kind of like vaguely humanoid shapes that are near the edge, near to all of you. But they are close enough that you're able to kind of make out that they are additional Aradias hiding under the water at the ledge right in front of the statues, as if like ready to do something if you were to cross over into the water.
How incredibly unfortunate. Okay, yeah, I won't do anything with that yet. Well, she's literally in the room talking to us, but
Perfect.
So we're gonna keep talking really far away, or can I come over there?
No, don't come over here. It is sacred. There's a lot of protections on this place. I can come to you. Give me a moment. Sorry, I know I'm on edge. I don't hear the alarm very often, and I wasn't expecting anyone. Certainly not anyone speaking that password. I would love to know more about where you learned all of these things. Are you, who? You really won't tell me where you learned all this information, where you found him?
Well, we found him in the desert, wandering around. I don't know where he found his information from, though.
And you won't let me check your brain to find out. Okay.
You know, that is a weird question for the first point. You know, like I know you've been alone here for a long time, so it's kind of weird.
Right.
But
Sorry, I take my job seriously.
he gives a look that means a lot more than. But yeah.
All right. Okay. I need to wrap some things up here. I still have some work left to do. You're going to stick around, though?
Oh yeah, I mean, why not?
All right. I need to do my job. Does the name Minuri Horgan mean anything to any of you? And she's looking at Foster when she says,
boy, this might be a gap in my knowledge in real life. Does that name mean anything to me? I know it's been thrown around.
Right, Minri Horgan is one of the prisoners you have with you who was the mole that informed you about Aradia. Minri Horgan is her connection to Cyrillin.
Okay, gotcha.
Foster's jaw just drops to the ground and claps.
Yeah, good thing she's like.
Yeah, I'll use Play Dead really quick.
With those expressive eyes.
Vaguely, I guess. I couldn't say with any certainty. It has a kind of familiar ring to it, I guess.
Oh, Henry Morgan.
No, Minri Horgan, it's similar.
Okay.
Any chance I could have met him like Delamuerzo or something like that?
Almost none. But right now my suspicion is that you are him and simply don't remember, but you're too short. He was quite a bit taller. I
say death takes a couple inches off.
Nice trim
He has
waistline.
very fat feet.
She looks to you, Ruko, and says, I'm very sorry, I need to do this. It's for both of our protection. And she begins to cast a spell towards Foster.
Yikeroonies.
Does anyone do anything?
I,
Yeah.
Or, well, Ruko
Yeah.
first. Do you do anything?
Is it like concentration to where it's a minute casting? God damn it.
Yeah, it does look like it's not like an instant thing. She's beginning to cast a spell. Yeah. And in fact, you. It seems similar. Oh, I'm sorry. Double checking. Sorry, it is a nearly instantaneous spell, but it is not subtle. So you can see that she's about to cast a spell.
How not subtle? Like, she's casting actively and doing a task. So how not subtle is this?
Very. So if a spell doesn't have the subtle tag, that means that it has what are they called? Incarnations? Manifestations. It has manifestation, which is essentially big, glowy, obvious magical particle effects that swirl all around her. It is incredibly obvious to everyone that she is casting a spell towards Foster.
There's no subtle spells either in my repertoire.
Essentially, it's going to go off unless you would like to roll initiative about it and try to do something before she casts.
I have no way to stop it. But I mean, if this is any kind of mind read, this is going to end in combat if she gets it off.
Oh geez. I'm going
The question
to...
is, if it's a mind read, she might alert people before we
Right.
get something going.
Let me... I want to try to stop this, but let's see. Heck. Wait, I have disguise magic. Wait a second. Oh, never mind.
Oh, wait, do you really?
Well, I have a little thing in magic item spells called disguise magic.
Oh, that's for like making a magical item not look magical.
Right.
There is a feat that does what you're thinking though, where you can turn any spell subtle by like disguising it as natural
That's
stuff.
amazing.
It is. I forget what level it is, but I think it's like in the teens. I think it's like in the 13ish range,
Is she a deception skill feat or?
something like that. I think it might actually be a druid spell. I'll look into it though between sessions. I'll make a note to go look. It sounds like It sounds-
Yeah, I'm going to try to stop her by wielding authority. Not an item or anything. I'm just gonna
Who have that?
wait. This is a confidential mission, though.
then I won't tell anyone, and she begins to cast the spell.
Would
On
movement
specific
trigger
orders.
initiative?
Kind of. What is your plan?
Very obviously trying to break line of sight with her by getting behind one of these pillars.
She's behind the pillar.
I'll say
Would you hold still?
Foster real
Goes between
quick.
two pillars. And...
Foster, roll me initiative against her initiative, and we'll see how that goes.
I was gonna suggest leading dance mice, and use that to like put Foster behind Branch in this little thing here, where Branch is probably gonna block him a little.
I like that too. Branch, you can also give me initiative. If either of you beats her, you can do that before she gets the spell off.
All right. Initiative is.
So do I need to be in combat mode to do initiative?
Just roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Quick, how close am I to her?
I don't have you on
Can I
that.
be-
You're probably about 20 feet away.
My
Can I be within 10
bones.
feet?
You could be with... Oh, actually, I don't know if you could be within 10 feet. There's basically only one spot within 10 feet of her, and Ruko's in that spot.
Fair.
She is
Hey,
being a
Ruko?
little standoffish.
Ruko, you're fucking everything up for me right now. I just want you to know that.
You're just a little guy. You're like 9 feet tall.
Okay.
You can.
But my belt is only 10 feet long.
Branch and Foster, you guys see that she's about to cast a spell. Ruko kind of like tries to buy a little time by saying, no, stop, this is a confidential mission. And that is enough time for Branch to sweep Foster over behind one of the statues and break line of sight. She looks to you, Ruko, and says, Ruko, move. This is not a joke. This is not a game. This is serious Spirit Weaver business. And starts to like push
And
past you.
It is exactly as you said. It's serious business. It must remain confidential, isolated. This is direct orders from Amar. I've been in contact with him. We need to be careful.
Boy.
You'll be informed as soon as we can. For now, things are delicate.
She looks down to her side, which at first looks probably to a casual observer like she's just thinking, like she's just kind of like trying to make sense of what's happening right now. Foster, having seen through the illusion, see that she is actually looking down at one of the creatures beneath the illusory courtyard, and she is nodding to one of them. She's giving a signal to one of them. And you see manifestations begin to happen on the other side down in the water. One of the creatures in the water is casting a spell.
Oh shit. Okay. I think the jig is kind of up here. Okay. I'll look to Ruko since he looks like he's closest to the danger. But I'll just say out loud for everyone. The field's an illusion. It's just water. She's casting a spell.
He looks down.
Yeah. Once that is pointed out for all of you, you guys all kind of look down and are able to kind of focus your eyes and see the shimmering field go
Can I-
translucent. What's up, Ray?
Scream something at Ruko.
Sure, what you got?
Take her staff! And that's it.
Hell yeah. I think all of these things kind of happen at once. The field drops, you all see the illusion. The spell goes off. You see this creature that looks like another Aradia goes off. I need a will save from Foster.
Stand by, please.
It's a radio within. Where's the radio? Where'd she go?
Right in front of Ruko.
Okay.
Is this an emotion effect?
It is not an emotion effect.
Okay.
Arcane, concentrate, detection, manipulate, mental.
I will use my hero point.
Oh, you don't have to.
I do have to, actually.
Praise
of
Christ.
course.
Oh my god.
God be praised.
Well,
Okay, yeah. And then Branch says, take the staff. She looks like she's hearing a message inside of her head. And she grips the staff with both hands and lowers it to begin doing, like, combat casting. She is about to fight.
Okay.
We will roll initiative and pick up here next time.
No!
I know.
Spooky.
As she's casting, I get behind Ruko.
Yeah, you guys can do little shuffles as all that was going on.
Okay.
Was
I
that a
just
will
wanna
save
say-
for instant death?
yeah, but you're already dead, so it doesn't affect you.
Nice.
I gotta double check and see if you
Guys.
feel what's happening and all that, but I think you might. Let me see.
Stepping beyond the pillars is bad because there's probably traps, maybe? Special
I'm-
water shits?
Guessing her illusions can only exist in the water.
Probably.
She's small. We can just pick her up and throw her up the stairwell.
You could wrench her staff away and then combat will end because she's no longer the king of the lighthouse.
Yeah, Foster, when you critically fail that, you immediately feel an invasive presence in your mind. Your mind is being read.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's a critical fail.
Yeah, it sure is.
It can't be critical. That's crazy.
Well, we gotta ring her bell. I don't really think no more.
Just a gentle reminder now that she's.
Yeah, you have her marked with your
Yeah.
exploit vulnerability thing.
Are you sure you don't want to
Hitting-
combat?
It is 11:55. I think we should wrap here.
So y'all can do a round, but I have to go for sure.
Yeah.
Later. I have to get ready for work.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm glad you have stakes.
Next time. So.
It's all over.
I
Lost
can't
the
believe you get to fight.
That was really big.
Eastward of Eden, where the clouds meet the dirt, we left our poor mother and seeded the earth. Gates they were shuttered, the latches were locked. Oh, eastward of Eden, where men become gods. Though our people, we toiled as one, the fruits of our labors thrived under the sun. Our children they spread to outnumber the stars. So eastward of Eden, where day turns to dark. Watered our forests with fire and flood, and fed our own egos with our brothers' blood. We starved every ocean till they ate up our shores. Oh, eastward of Eden, where we always want more. Our towers they rose up and set with the sun. Our servants they burned us with fiery tongue. We run our wings of metal, surprised when we fell. Eastward of Eden, where heavens are hell. Leave it all, leave it all, leave it all behind. Leave it all, leave it all, leave it all behind. Leave it all, leave it all, leave it all behind. Leave it all, leave it all, leave it all behind. Eastward of Eden, where the dust meets the dirt, we murdered our mother and strangled the earth. Forgive us, oh mama, whose face we forgot. Oh, eastward of Eden, where men become gods. Eastward of Eden, where men